if they're ranking pages. There's a whole article on this in January, and they're actually deleting pages that they call spam pages. They're just advertising products. So they're ranking your page, and it affects your ad costs. Because if you don't have an engaged fan page posting interesting content, you are paying more for your ads. Your CPMs are going up. For my fan page, I regularly get $2, $3, $4 CPM because we have a highly engaged fan page. So that's one reason, your ad cost, okay? Number two, think about this from a point of view. If you have a highly engaged fan page, so you say, when we make a post on our page, our memes, Phil knows, we get thousands of shares, thousands. Organic shares. I've had one post get 73,000 shares organically, not pay a dime. Now think about this. Okay, so all those people and because when someone shares my post, right, it goes in the newsfeed. Kevin shared that fan page's post, and all of his friends get a notification about that. So it builds your page organically, and you get organic. I could turn off my Facebook ads, and I still get traffic from Facebook, all coming from the viral fan page. Okay, so that's a second reason. Now, the third reason is know, like, and trust. If you see interesting content from my fan page day in and day out, then you see an advertisement for a product, buying is going to go up. Why do you think McDonald's and Coca-Cola pay all those money for those billboard signs and TV ads? They're subconsciously brainwashing you to know their brand. And you can do the same thing on social media. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does. So two follow-ups to that.
Okay, hold on.
So two follow-ups to that. One, how much should you be spending if you're spending to be running ads to build up your fan page? And two, should your fan page be branded the same as your store name, or should it be more generic, not necessarily generic, but just a niche?
Okay. So answer number one is, especially if it's a niche store, obviously sometimes you can't because of the maybe a very popular page with the exact same name. And in that case, you may not even think the name of your site, but I think, yes, you want to name your fan page the same as your site. Now, if you're in a situation where you already have like a site that's already built up and it's got SEO and all that stuff, and you don't really want to change your site name, then you go on to Facebook and you discover that there's a big page with that name, exact same name. You probably want to make a different name for the fan page. But that's not ideal. So ideal, you want to have them matching, okay? But here's the thing, you don't want to, if you discover there's a massive fan page of 300, 400,000 fans or something huge, right? Like that, and you say, oh man, that's not good either, because if someone goes and searches your brand name on Facebook and they see that page, you're going to be inadvertently running traffic to that other site, okay? So yeah, ideally you want it to be the same. So if you're in the beginning stages, right, and say the first few months of your business, and you don't have a lot of SEO, and Google hasn't spidered your site and stuff, it may behoove you to change your site name, so you can have a matching with your Facebook and your Instagram and your Pinterest. You want to have them all uniform if possible. Okay, so that answers your question. Number two is okay, let's say I started a brand new fan page. Okay, here's what I actually teach my students. For 1 month, for $5 a day, run likes ads while you're posting the content.
What?
Likes ads.
Oh, likes.
So we're talking $150 investment, okay? Likes ads don't have the same value and same punch as they did in the past because the reach is not as great, but still, it's good to build up the page and get that community going, right? No need to do more than 1 month. You should have around 1,000 fans, depends on your niche and how much it costs per. And if you're not getting cheap likes, your image is not good. Likes ads come down to the image. And your likes ads should say, hey, come check out our community page on blah, 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 whatever your niche is. And then a cool image. If you already have the page built up beyond 1,000 fans or more, no need to do that. Okay. But if you're getting very low reach on your content posts, then here's what I would do. When I found a content post that got some reaction from my fans that are seeing it and getting some likes and shares and comments with the current people who are seeing it, in her case, 300 people. Say the 300 people actually see it. You'll notice, by the way, if they are commenting and sharing, liking, that Facebook will probably give you 600 or even 1,000. Oh, that's a good meme. I want all my fans to see that. Do a $5 boost on that and just target your fans. This will re-engage them. You don't have to spend a lot of money on that either, but just do it 2 or 3 or 4 times. That should get the ball rolling. Yeah, let me. Oh, thank you. Okay, next. Good questions, by the way.
I'm trying to expand a little bit into more international markets with a product that I've done really well in the United States. And the audience size is my biggest problem. So if I take my audiences that have, let's say, 800,000 or 1 million, and all of a sudden I put in other countries, even if I lump the countries, it'll go down to like 25,000. So I don't know how to target international, or are those small audiences okay?
Just target the small audiences and just use low budgets. No, it won't last very long, but milk it for as long as you can. It's hard to scale that kind of audience, but I would just milk it for all it's worth. Oh, you have one more? Yeah. Sorry. No, sorry.
Okay, just real quick. I know that you seem like when you're researching a niche, when you're looking for a product or put something down, you like to take an entire day. That's what you kind of mentioned. You basically focus on it for a day. You look for something, and it's. Could you just give me like a sample, like quick overview of like your day? Say you were going into the wine niche. Okay, since spirits are related, what would you do when you start? You have your coffee or your breakfast. What do you do next? Give me a basic idea what your day would be like.
Actually, probably a day or two, or even 3, you want to be researching. But the first thing you're going to want to do is say you're going to the wine niche, right? You want to go in and you want to try to find big, sizable fan pages that are active and selling stuff, and maybe make an Excel sheet of them. Okay, so that's step 1. Okay, step 2. You want to just get a feel for what people react on in that niche. So I would go through and look at the memes that are getting reach, getting shared. And if it's a meme, in very rare cases, you run a little bit of ads to it, but almost surely they're not, 99% of them not running any ads to them at all. So if you see thousands of shares on that, or hundreds of shares and hundreds of comments, that means that it was organic, not paid for. So that means that, wow, they were interested in that, okay? And I would start to download those memes, right? Just as a reference file. Whether you use them or not is a different story, but just you want to know that because you want a whole file of stuff that your market reacted to, okay? And that alone, if you really go over the 3 or 4 or 5 months of posts on each, maybe 5 to 10 pages that you found, that could take you a day or two. I mean, it's a lot of work, but it's worth it. Every single student who's done that has sped up their success because their knowledge of their niche becomes infinitely deeper. They really get it. When you look at all that content, you start to see the commonality. Wow, I can really see what people are. Then next, you want to go to their fan page, back to their fan page again, and take a look at what they were selling. Look at the products that they've been running ads. Look at the posts they've been running ads to for a while. And you can see that because you can see the date it was posted, and you can see it. You can see the thing that's ads on the left there now that lets you know what ads they're running, and you can see the comments. And you can see the shares, so you know that they're not going to spend a lot of money on advertising a product for a long period of time if it's not making sales. They'd be a moron to do that. So you know it's moving. Whether it's profitable or making a lot of money, it's a different story. But at least you know it's selling. So go in there, take a look at that. Then I would go and also look on their website and see what other products are selling. Go into Google Images and look at, type in T-shirts for that niche and look at all the slogans that are the most common ones. Okay, you probably want to avoid those on T-shirts. You might try those on other types of products, as we've been talking about. But you at least get the knowledge base you need to do the next step, which is I said come up with original ideas, right?
Do like the niche crossover, like original, just like crossover the niches.
That's right. But if you know what's been selling in the past in your niche, you know, that gives you a better ability to say, okay, I can create my own idea because I know what was selling before. That makes sense?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. All right.
Just a question again about the fan page. Do you ever suggest going back into your fan page and cleaning up maybe not necessarily posts, well, I guess ads or things that you'd posted from, because I mean, when I look at mine, I have, you know, free shipping here, you know, or 20% off here, and they might be the same product, but I'm not running those promos anymore. Or...
I never delete a product post unless the product totally bombed. But I mean, product post I was advertising and got some action. I never delete that post because it sometimes just gets viral. People will still comment and share on it, and sales will come in. Random sales will come in. It's free traffic, free sales. So unless the product was a disaster and I just don't want it on my page, I will leave it up there because it will happen. I mean, it'll happen. Just random sales will come in because sometimes old posts get engagement. It's weird. I mean, people, someone will tag their friend on Facebook who the guy hasn't been on Facebook, not really active on Facebook. He gets on Facebook 3 months later and he sees he was tagged in that post. He's, oh, that was cool. Sure, I'll buy that. And that happens more often than you can imagine. So don't delete those posts. Sorry, Rob.
On the topic of fan pages, what if you have a general store? How would you name your fan pages or suggest?
First, I want you guys to know I'm not a huge believer in the general store. I think there's only one good thing about it, and it's that you can test out many different things across many different niches. But you probably need to make a new fan page for each one of the niches that you're in. And you don't necessarily need to, in that case, build up content on each one of those pages. Because think about this, right? What if you get a product that takes off or a post that takes off and you got it on a general store page? You're missing out on a great opportunity because as you're driving traffic to that product, right, the fan page will start to build organically. People like the fan page. So I would make a new page for every new niche I go into. Now, if you're running a general store, I would not sit there and build content and do likes and all that stuff that we just talked about. I would just say you wanted to launch product in golf, make a golf page, post it there. And if you name it I Love Golf, that's fine for now because you can change the fan page one time. Let's just say that golf product takes off and suddenly you want to make a golf store and you go and you buy your domain, you can rename that page once. Okay. But anyway, in general, I am not a big believer in the general store method, but you can make it work. Cool. Does that help? Yep. All right.
How many products usually test before one actually works out?
Well, I get that question a lot. And I wish I had an answer. It's so different for each person, how well they learn to master their niche, how well their market, how competitive their market is. Here's the thing. Some people have success for the first few products. Some people take a long, long time. I mean, I had a student who took a long time. I remember this guy, but he went on to make millions. He's one of the most successful students I've ever worked with. Huge seller now. I think he told me he launched 78 products before he had success. So, I mean, it just varies so much. I can't give you an answer. I'm sorry. I get that a lot, by the way. That's a dreaded question because there's no specific answer. We'll go, how much time do we give Tam? We want to give him 15-minute breaks before
She can, anytime that you're done, she can come up and
Okay.
we can close
It's
to
30.
10, have the.
Okay, I'll take one more question or two more questions, then we'll go to Tammy, and then we'll give you like a 10, 15-minute break, and then Phil's on to talk about Facebook ads. Actually, one of the reasons why I'm talking doing this Q&A instead of Facebook ads is Phil was going to do Facebook ads. So if I do Facebook ads too, it's like 4 hours of Facebook ads. Oh, not today? Oh, I thought you were up next. Oh, today's branding. Sorry, Facebook ads tomorrow. Sorry, my bad.
So do you run YouTube ads, and which type of YouTube ads do you find to be the most effective?
Okay. So he's asking, do I run YouTube ads, and which ones do I find to be most effective? I personally do not run YouTube ads, but I wish I do, and YouTube ads is something I'm going to get into. I've been hearing a lot of good things about YouTube ads. I actually, in my training course in Mastermind, I actually invited a guy named Adam Payne, who's an expert in YouTube, to come in and do some training. So I'm going to dig into his training myself again and start going on YouTube ads. I'm not an expert on YouTube ads, no. But I'm definitely should be, and I think it's a good source. But here's the other thing, guys, about this is just like everyone else, right? I have my areas, especially as my areas of weaknesses, and I'm going to start expanding my traffic sources. But don't, I'm going to take on maybe Snapchat ads and YouTube ads and go from there. I'm not going to go Pinterest and Google and just start doing all these different. You can't manage that. Try to pick on one or two new ones and then focus some effort on that. Try to get good at those first before you take on more and more and more. Does that make sense? Okay, one last question. Any new person? All right. So I just want to give everyone a chance. Okay, one, two. Then we'll let Tammy up. We'll get Tammy up.
It's just a question about, if you like, the asset that we're building. If we have a print-on-demand business, and looking at your business, very clearly based in the beer niche, thinking about an exit strategy, with the exit in mind or the end in mind when you start. What's your views on that as an asset? Where's the value, and what can you share your plans?
So I know 4 people who've sold their sites. Some of them I've actually worked with. At one point, I had an opportunity to sell my site, but I chose not to. I want to keep building it. But so here's the thing. God, I wish I could remember these points. I actually wrote down all of it. But here's the things you need in place. Okay, what do potential buyers care about? They care about, one. Yes, they care about revenue and profit. But I mean, that's obvious. So beyond that, right? Email list. That's right. How valuable is your mailing list? Okay. How valuable is your mail list? Number 2, do you have engaged social media pages that are being built, that are active, right? Bringing organic traffic. 2, do you have SEO? If you are trying to build an asset and you're not doing SEO, you are fucking yourself big time. Let me just be completely honest with you guys. I can tell you, I've seen the due diligence forms 5 times. Once when someone was talking to me about my site, which I decided not to sell. I didn't like the offer, and I wanted to keep building. But I actually worked with 4 people, and they, I'm connected in this market. And I got students, and they showed me. They wanted to know how much organic traffic they're getting from Google search. I'm sorry about my language, but I really wanted to emphasize this point. Almost, how many here are doing SEO? See, this is very common. Yeah. so I mean, and that's why I use the F word to emphasize this. Now, you don't have to do it in the beginning, but if you're 6 months, 7 months, 8 months into your business and this is rolling, and you think, okay, this is going to be something I want to grow, you definitely, absolutely want to go for SEO. And there's a couple of reasons. Number 1 is because it's something that's important to a potential buyer or you ever want to sell out. But number 2, and here's the thing, search traffic will be your best converting traffic. It makes sense, right? They're going into Google and they're searching for that kind of thing that you're selling. I mean, the odds that it may not be nearly as much traffic as you can get from paid ads, especially in the beginning. You got to build it up, but they're going to convert. I mean, think about it, right? Don't you think? They're searching for it. They're raising their hand saying, hey, I'm looking for this. And they find your site. So
Be more specific on the SEO part. Are you talking about the site, the product?
search optimization for your site and your products.
Well, how do you do that?
I'm not an SEO expert. I farm that out to someone else. Yeah, I mean, I'm not an SEO expert, and I'm not going to pretend to be. And so, it's all about backlinks and social media bookmarking. That I mean, those two. I understand the two concepts, but I don't know the X's and O's, as they say in football. I have no idea how you actually line that all up. But anyway. And then branding, okay? And then, of course, profit revenue, right? You need all those things in place. And if you have all those things lined up, you have a sellable asset. That's, I mean, not a fire sale, like just get rid of it and make a little money. And we're talking like something that you can demand some cash for. Okay, last question from Michael, and then we'll end it here. Tammy, come up.
So you recently used an example where you had taken a design from another niche, you adjusted it for yours. It didn't work the first time, but you changed a few words and got it to work. And I'm just curious, generally speaking, as you're coming up with new designs, how far do you push it? If you know, hey, this was a winning design in another niche or whatever, and you know, how many iterations are you willing to give something if you think it's going to work?
There's no specific number. In that particular case, we took the exact slogan from the other niche and we just put in beer, and we were getting some good engagement on the posts. People were laughing, and you can see the shares, but they weren't buying. So it was more of a gut feeling that maybe if we switch this a little bit, do something slightly different, it could work. But I can't give you an exact answer. You just got to see how the market's reacting. All right, so we have Tammy up. Was that good? Who we got? Is that good? All right. Yes.
So I have a question for you about Facebook groups. What is your position on Facebook groups? Do you use groups?
No, I'm not. I've not been using groups, but I know some people have been, and it's funny you mentioned that because, yeah, I'm actually talked to someone just the last couple of days who said they're really crushing with their group, so I'm going to be getting a group going.
All right, guys, how's everyone doing this morning? Awesome. So I've been getting a lot of the same questions over and over. So I would love to go over a couple of these frequently asked questions about, a few of them. And then after that, then let's do a question and answer session if there's anything else that you're wondering about. Firstly, I'd say that if you're doing nothing on the Amazon.com platform, and actually just a little bit of a follow-up to what Chris was saying, if with Amazon, I think I mentioned Amazon on Google. So if you're not doing any SEO, get a product on Amazon, and Amazon will help you rank on Google. That's an easy way to SEO. That's a good idea. Yeah. So number two, if you're doing nothing on Amazon, you really just need to at least be an associate. So I mentioned their affiliate program. So you would go to Amazon, or it's called associates.amazon.com, and sign up there to be an associate. And what happens is you are able to get in the tools section, you'll see what's called one link, or you'll see they call it a bar. So when you click on that, and now you go over to an Amazon, and if you need me to show you this, I can. You go over to an Amazon.com page and you click on any product, you can look at this bar that sits now under your URL search bar, and you can click one click, and now you're going to get a link that is coded to you, an affiliate link that's coded to you, and now you can share anything. If you're ever sharing anything with anyone, which we all do, right? Just generally like, hey, I got this new thingamajiggy and it's so awesome. Or I made a recipe and I used this product and this thing was just made life so easy. Use an affiliate link, because anything that, if that person goes ahead and buys that product, or even if they don't buy the product, you're getting a paycheck at the end of the month for anything, a percentage of anything that they bought on Amazon.com within 24 hours, if you led them to Amazon during that session. So it's the holidays, guys. Go ahead, Kevin.
I can't remember, a while back I was looking at, I am an associate, so I have associate stuff, and I have associate stuff, and I've been, I've promoted stuff before, but there's a way you can buy stuff for yourself and still get paid. Explain that one.
So you can use your own affiliate link for your own products, right? So when you're posting products on your page, in your pages, your groups, and you're telling people, hey, go to Amazon.com right now. We have a great deal, coupon 10% off. Use your affiliate link, because even if they don't buy that product, you're going to get paid on everything else they buy within the next 24 hours. So I think I mentioned we put my competitor's product right on my own website, because they'll give you a link, but they'll also allow you to select a text with a picture, and I can copy that script, put it on my site, Shopify store, okay? Now it just looks like a little ad in the corner to my competitor's product, because if they didn't like mine, they were gonna look for another one, weren't they? So I'll just help them get to Amazon quicker. And I would get paychecks at the end of the month for buying my competitor's products. So it's just an easy way to add a little more income to your business.
Can I ask a clarifying question? So when you say to your own product, let's say I have a cutting board on Amazon. How do I, instead of on my, let's say, Facebook ad or on my ClickFunnels, instead of linking that page for the cutting board, I use my associate link? Is that how?
Yes. So maybe I should show this.
Yes.
Okay. Let me do that. Can I?
Yeah, it's good to go.
Screen's off.
Oh, we'll turn that on.
Okay.
Do you know how to get there?
Go ahead. Just, can you get me to a browser?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Okay. Is this one on too? Hello? Okay. Can you see it on this screen? Yeah. How do I do the off thing here? So don't have to. Oh, I got it. Got it. So we're going to associates.amazon.com. That's where you log in. And once you have an account, I'm glad to see you have an affiliate account, Ken.
Hey, there you go.
Oh, for the love of God. Okay. So now I'm in the associates account here, okay? And when I look at tools, there's something called SiteStripe. That's what I was talking about. So I'm going to click on SiteStripe. Now I'm going to go over to open up a new Amazon page. And you see this bar at the top? Okay. So anything I pick, give me a product, any product. What? What was that? Aveda wrinkle cream. Oh. VI. Yep. There it is. Is this your product? Yes. Awesome. Okay, so here we go. Now I want to pick this product. I'm going to click on bring up the detail page. And I don't know what just happened. There we go. So now I can select up here. I'm going to go to my links. I can select either text. I just created an Amazon affiliate. I'll go over to my social media and paste it in there. And automatically, when I post this on Facebook, this link, it's going to populate with the picture of this product because it's going to pull from Amazon. And now I can say, hey, buy this product, right? This product is great. If I want to do more than that, I'm going to do an image or a text with image, and I'm going to copy this script, and I'm going to put it in the back end of my website, and I will suddenly have another type of link, all right? Let me show you in the actual dashboard if there's an easier way to search for things or get, if you're just generally looking for some kind of product like like some kind of juicer, you just put it in that search bar. It'll bring up the most popular juicers, which is really a great way to do this for Christmas. Are you familiar with BuzzFeed, right? So what does BuzzFeed do? They are notoriously just creating posts about the top 10 products for Christmas. They're all affiliate links, right? That's their business model. So think about whatever it is that's relevant in your niche, cutting boards, wedding registry. That's the other thing here is that it's not only for products. Amazon doesn't only pay you for referring people to products. They pay you for referring to their programs and their products. So let's say that someone was in the wedding arena or somebody's getting married. You can actually refer someone to sign up for wedding registry. And at one time they were giving like $250 for every new person that was signing up. I don't know what it is right now. So you can have someone go sign up for wedding registry and then offer the 10 top gifts. And maybe a personalized cutting board is one of them, right? And you just get checks at the end of the month. So now when I looked for this product and I want a particular product, maybe I had a recipe and I use this product, maybe I have a juicing, recipe book, I can simply, once again, get my links from here. Here's my shortened link, or I can choose all these different options. This thing is what I could paste on my site. Okay, everyone getting that? All right, do you see value in that? Like how you can just make some extra income? Go ahead.
Do we have to say that I may make money if you select this? The
FTC disclosure.
Oh, yeah. So if you're doing a blog post, you're just putting it somewhere in there. This at the end or a little.
Unless you're committed.
That doesn't cover it though. You don't have to announce it. You can have
Terms of service doesn't cover it?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be visible where you're.
Just put it in the bottom of the blog post itself.
Right on the blog post? Or?
Right, if you're not American.
Exactly.
Right in your signature, if you're emailing.
Canada doesn't require.
So let's say for my giveaway, I'm giving EcoDot. Can I buy the EcoDot for my giveaway to my links at least I get something paid too?
Say it again.
For my giveaway that I'm giving away, the EcoDot, the Alexa EcoDot.
Yeah.
Can I buy my giveaway through my affiliate links? At least I get something. Yes. Commission.
When you're buying as a customer, you don't get paid as an affiliate. When you're buying something through your own affiliate link, you don't get paid. Okay, is that what you're asking?
I use my separate email, separate Amazon account.
I don't know. It's I wouldn't mess around.
Okay.
Don't go ahead. I want people to hear you, but go ahead. I'll repeat the question. Go ahead.
Is it still viable to set up websites like for Amazon
Affiliate websites? Yeah, I mean,
should you not bother with it, or does Amazon not like it anymore?
no, absolutely. There are websites. That's a whole business model. The Amazon affiliate model is setting up a website completely with all affiliate products, other people's products.
Automatic sites, though, they don't like that. I keep hearing different stories.
Just go to YouTube and do a search for what's it called on YouTube? Wiki. What's the YouTube channel that does all the affiliate?
So yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, that one's the most simple. They rank high, and look at how many views they get. It's just an affiliate channel.
Yeah. So I'll show you what a friend of mine does.
Okay.
I don't know what channel that is.
I think you can just type in wiki in YouTube.
Like that?
And what are the search terms that come up? Because these guys, I think, are the top. They're like
that?
I'll dig it up. You carry on. I'll find
Oh, that's lovely. Okay. So that's always good for a presentation. All right. Here's a friend of mine that does, just like we were talking yesterday, how do you think these YouTubers make money with their affiliate links to Amazon, right? So this is a friend of mine. He does really well. And look, here's his.
So the Canon SL2 and the Canon.
His product review, right? Now you go into see his Amazon links? That's how he makes all his money, Let's see what this guy's really professional. I mean, he makes thousands and thousands and I don't even know now. But so if you model this guy, Sean Cannell, he really knows what he's doing and he's very ethical. So it's somebody to model. I mean, look at that. Look at all that.
What's his name?
Sean Cannell, SeanCannell.
It's
Wiki product reviews.
What's it called?
But this model, I mean, short of doing a website full of affiliate links, these are what the YouTubers are doing. And when you're having a YouTube or person review your product, make sure you go back in there and you make once you're on Amazon, get your link back in there, right? Your influencers are happy to do that after your Kickstarter campaign is done. You're looking at this one, product reviews.
Wiki.
EasyVid.
It's all one word. No, EZ. VID.
Oh, there it is.
Wiki.
Yeah. I've never heard of this, but
oh,
okay.
really? Oh,
no.
Check them out. They do everything. Just click on one video and watch.
All right. So Ken says that these guys are great as well and do this consistently. So they don't have affiliate links, but they do in their description, but they
yeah, it's taking them to their blog that's full of
it's taking them to their blog. Okay, so this is the blog model or the website model, I see. Okay.
But
so
it's all powered through YouTube.
So now these are all affiliate links, right? It's called EZ and then VID and Wiki, WIKI.
And they rank at the top of everything for YouTube when it comes to specific reviews by product. And it always goes to their blog and it's loaded. They kill it.
There you go.
That's all this thing does is just rank your YouTube video, goes to a blog with all the affiliate links.
Is it mostly technology or everything?
No, everything.
Anything.
Yeah. There's moms out there doing baby products.
Yeah.
There's, nutritionists doing different types of food and recipes on I'm just talking about just different business models that I see a lot. People chefs doing recipes and promoting the products they used, whether it's the food or the electronics. And, remember, I mean, Google is the top search engine. YouTube is number 2, and Amazon is number 3 when it comes to products, right? So if you're using YouTube and you're on Amazon, now you're ranking on Google anyway. Okay, go ahead. No, you don't have to buy any products. I mean, your customer, when they buy a product, you're going to get a referral fee, a percentage, and you'll see what those are here.
Yeah, I'm meaning these review guys, do they have to buy the products to show?
She's asking the people who are reviewing the product, if you're using this model, do you have to buy it? You can reach out to product owners if you want to do it, but most of us, if we're in a niche, if I'm a chef and I'm making lots of stuff, I'm buying these things and using them all the time anyway, right? So Sean Cannell was like a techie guy, and that's how he started. But then product owners just started seeing his things and just started sending him stuff, right? Just like we're doing, right? Looking for our products to be reviewed. It's the same thing. So, but you can start with, having a product. I'm sorry to make you wait.
Okay. How would you get your affiliate links in a how would you get your affiliate links in an Alexa skill?
Well, when you list your skill, there's a description area. Let me go here. You're a skills, by the way, he's a skills builder. You told me that yesterday, right?
Right.
Yeah, so he knows what he's doing. Have you ever not tried that to put it in the description?
No, I haven't tried it.
As long as you're using your own Amazon link, as long as you're not linking outside of Amazon, I think that's a great place to do it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good idea. Okay, anyone else? Amazon questions? Okay, go ahead.
Is there a way that if you have products on Amazon?
Sorry.
That you have your products on Amazon, that you can have your about link or your profile or whatever go back to your, is there a legal way to do that? To go to point people to your website to see other stuff?
There used to be till last week. It was called the Amazon Digital Services Platform, which is no longer available. So the platform's there, but now we have to go through the developer portal, and lots of products were delisted last week because we were exploiting it. And that's against their own terms of service. So they don't want you to link outside, but you can definitely link to your own products within Amazon. Okay. Oh, one more.
There was in your presentation the other day, you wanted to provide a link to us that where we can upload our digital products.
Yeah, so that's why I couldn't find it, because they just took the other portal down. So now you have to go through developer.amazon.com, and then you would go /submit app -app. Oh, he's not a developer, so it's not letting me in there. But that's what you would do, and it's confusing. So I promised somebody here that I will do a how-to video and share that with you guys, because just like the normal way to build skills, it's not exactly user-friendly right now. But we'll help you. Everybody should have a digital product too. Go ahead.
What's the best way for us to keep up to speed to be sure that we're in compliance with all of that Amazon things? Is there a blog that keeps us updated about changes of things that people are experiencing?
Once you're a seller on Amazon, there is, okay, it's not letting me get in right now, but in Seller Central, there's a huge knowledge base, okay, and you can type anything in, and there's a huge forum, and it pops up and it's sort of like a feed, and you can type anything in there and, just talk to the forum. When you talk to somebody, the support team at Amazon, they're reading from the same forum, the same Seller Central University that we all get as sellers. They don't have any other information besides what we do at our fingertips. So just do a Control F to try to find what you're looking for quickly. And, if you're lazy, then just call them and ask, and they'll read it to you, So, okay, anything else? Yes.
Is there something like this for Amazon sellers, something that you could point out, maybe listings that people do wrong a lot, or they're missing out on, so that improves conversion? Like something I know that sometimes small pieces of images or the listing can have a huge effect on conversion. Is there something that you've seen or that you work with an agency?
Yes. It's a really, really good question. And the easy answer, there's many, many fields that you have available to you to fill in. Fill in everything as much as you can, as much as it's could possibly be relevant to your product. There's something called contribution factor, especially when you're sharing the buy box. And that's a huge key to winning the buy box, is your contribution factor, meaning the more that you contributed to that listing, the more weight it holds for you to be the main seller or to be shown more. Amazon is very, very adamant about, they've really been cleaning up their catalog. So if they have sellers, they don't want non-serious sellers. If you kind of followed Amazon, brand registry happened last year. That was basically to fix what they created, a monster called the Red Dragon program, where they were encouraging a lot of Chinese sellers to, put their products on Amazon, right? So then their way of fixing that was saying, oh, now you need to be brand registered. Well, a lot of Chinese sellers aren't going to go to Trademarkia or USPTO, pay a couple $100 and get your brand name registered. So for us, I was happy when that happened, because it's a couple more steps for us, but guess what? We're serious sellers, right? This is our business. And the more hoops that you go through and you jump through, I'm happy about it. A lot of people think they get overwhelmed and upset when Amazon makes all these changes and requirements, but you have to think of it from, the perspective that we're just one step ahead then. You're leaving other people in the dust that aren't willing to just take a couple more steps, right? So you are, the leader of the pack now. You're definitely have an advantage when you do those things. So I don't know if all that made sense, but so in answer to your question, first of all, fill out as many blanks as you possibly can. Even when it says, manufacturer model number, put a keyword in there. Just put a keyword in there, right? So for an example, okay? There's things like other attributes, or, use those things as keyword areas. Let Amazon know exactly what you want. Who are you targeting? Amazon allows you to have all these different blanks to fill in. And then if you're not using Seller Central, you're not logged in. Right? This is a regular Amazon. Okay. So in Seller Central, there's something called enhanced brand content, which improves your conversions by 10%. So, you get 9 images. Use all 9 for the love of God, if you can. And, we also talk about alt image tagging. Before you upload an image, remember Amazon is on Google, right? So my images will show up on Google attached to my product sometimes. So name your product, name your pictures with your keywords, and maybe even a link or whatever you can do to, your brand name, your product name, to get people to understand if they're just looking at images, what it is, so they'll click through and find you somewhere. Amazon is now allowing 360 images. There's there's some companies out there. There's one in Chicago called Snap 36. And for $50, you can send your products over there and they'll make 360 images. And now Amazon's allowing those to be put on Amazon in your images. It's called Snap 36.
Put 360s in?
360.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, only if you're a brand.
I think, oh, do you have to be a brand?
I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
In place of an image, you can use a 360.
Correct.
So we could shoot our own.
Correct. You know those big machines, have you ever seen those really big machines and you put them in there and it literally looks like it's spinning in air, those 360 images? So this company does that for, $50. They'll do, you get 70 pictures or some crazy
maybe, and then we spin them this way and then this way so they can spin them like this.
And they do it for huge products and tiny products, jewelry, whatever. That's I've only seen that on a couple of listings, but we're doing it with all ours. 360 images. Yep, it's like.
Do you know of any on Amazon?
We don't have ours listed yet. They're being shot right now, but let me see. There's like
the example right on their site.
Tractor. Oh yeah, Snap 36.
Yeah, they'll have demos there.
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Here's a shirt. That's doing nothing. It's not. Hang on. Oh my God, what do I do? Click on it? Oh, drag, click to drag and spin image.
There you go. You can do the up and down and the angles and the whole bit. Yep.
Oh, I see. That's nice.
Okay.
So Tammy, can you show what it would look like for a shirt again?
Sure. Where's the gallery?
It'd be great for leggings.
Leggings, what?
It'd be great.
You just upload it like a picture in your images. I think they said I talked to Amazon. I literally talked to them in New Orleans and I asked them specifically and they said, yes, it's going to work. Yes, it will work. And I saw many, many examples when I was there.
Awesome.
So it's basically the capability is now, on the platform. So you just have to do it, right? You just have to put it there. So here's the shirt.
I'm assuming you could put this in your Shopify product pages too.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
That is cool. It's really cool.
So are your customers gonna know that they have to click on?
I think when I found one on Amazon, I think it did say just like under here, it kind of said directed the consumer, but knowing Amazon, I don't know.
Autoplay though as well, like they'll
Yes.
spin on autoplay.
Yeah, I saw some autoplay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even have to do anything. It was just already like revolving around.
Hey Matt, do we have any of our
How about those
drag
videos? I've
spinner
seen some
videos demos?
products on Amazon.
Yes.
Especially like appliances.
Yes.
They have like how to videos. How can you upload those videos?
Yes, those are called video shorts. So for brands, I think it starts at $35,000. You have to pay for yourself to do it. But what we do is get a customer to review it. And if it's a really good review, like a how-to thing, it'll just start appearing. You'll find it. It came up from our product reviews. Somebody had a nice product review and she did a video and suddenly it just popped up at the bottom of our listing.
Oh, but you can't do it posted yourself.
if you want to do it yourself and do it the legit way, it's $35,000. The low price of $35,000. But have a you could review your own product under your mom's account or whatever. Just be creative. Yeah, and post it. Yeah, different IP address though. Anyone else? All right, those are the main things. The other question I had was about Unicorn Smasher. This was just a free tool that I told you guys about the other day, and it is a way to figure out what's going on in the market of your product niche. It's a free tool, but they have a bajillion out there. I love Helium 10. They've got a lot of tools in one. And Jungle Scout is another one. And what these things do is they just, when you're on, do you have any of those things, Ken, up here?
Which ones?
Like Jungle Scout or Helium 10 or any of those?
Jungle Scout should be up there.
Do you? And the point is that when you're on any Amazon page or you're thinking about going into a niche or bringing on a new product, you simply type in the keyword and then you enable.
It's just that one, right? That little square in there.
Oh, viral launch. Okay.
Viral launch, yeah.
So viral launch. So there's a bajillion of these. Okay. Unicorn Smasher is just a free tool, and you click on it and it becomes a Chrome browser extension like this. You see where I'm clicking up here? It just sits up here. So once all of my results have populated, I can now click on that extension and it's going to bring up, because that's the one he's got on here. The free one is called Unicorn Smasher, which I love the name. I don't know, that is odd. Oh, hello.
That's so weird.
That was odd. Okay.
I don't know if this is like.
So it basically gives you the market share, an idea of all of the different stats of every product on the first page. Okay, so you can kind of see what the top products are doing, how much they're making each month, how many units they're selling each month. And it helps you to determine if it's a good niche to get into. You see that? It just populated everything that I wanted to know. Okay, so it's a great way to, if you're trying to determine if a product is going to be something good to get into, then just do one of these things. And it says, like, for example, I can filter. So, the top one's doing 10K right now a month. And it's this one, usually it shows up, it pops up and gives me a picture. No viral launch. But it's just another tool to help you decide if it's something that you really want to go after or how much you want to invest into it. Oh, there it is. Okay, you see, now you can see what they are. So look at these bamboo ones, are pretty hot. Ooh, is that a personalized? No. No personalized ones yet, but I fully expect to see some soon. Right? Right. All right, good. Anything else, guys? No? Oh, go ahead.
I know it said you have to have a white background, but then when you're going through, like, say, personalized cutting boards, you'll see ones that have all the lifestyle shots.
Amazon has been closing accounts lately for people that are not complying. This is a no-no right here. This is a no-no. Oh, this is an ad. That's why that came up. That's an ad. But if you see something like this as a main product shot, they might they'll delist it for sure in the home and goods kitchen section. They just started doing this last month. Do not mess around. Just use a white background as your main image, and then you can do these all day long in all your other images. And now, like, 360 in your main image, that'd be pretty cool, right? As long as it has a white background, right? It's going to stand out.
I'm pretty sure that if you're like one of those, I forget what they call it, if you're like the
shop that makes the boards, and you have what are those called? Those accounts where they're special accounts of people that are like the actual skilled, the craftsmen.
Oh, so there is a platform. So what he's asking, Jonathan, is he's asking about what?
Well, like, they have special. They can actually use backgrounds on their images. I'm pretty sure those crafts guys.
So because they're using the handmade portal,
right?
Okay, so there, if you use this, I think it's handmade.amazon.com. Amazon, for the love of God. Feature, loves to make their catalog pretty, like I said, right? So if you use the handmade platform, you'll see, look at how these product listings look a bit different. If you're an actual manufacturer and you're manufacturing your own products and they're handmade, so I would say personalized cutting boards are pretty handmade.
Tammy, is the handmade rules for Amazon the same as like Etsy? Are they strict like that?
Etsy says you can't have a trademarked product or a copyrighted product. Amazon has no such rule.
How about partners? What do they,
sorry?
How much of a, in other words, like, let's just take a piece of shine-on jewelry.
See how pretty that is?
How does that fit in?
A piece of shine-on jewelry?
That's what I'm trying to figure out what your rules are.
Oh, so when you apply for handmade, they're going to ask you to see your, like, who's making it. Like, we had handmade dog toys, so I had to send in pictures of the guy sitting there making it. Like, and so they're pretty strict about who they let on. I mean, you can act like you're whittling away. I mean, it can be really mass produced, but personalized is different. That's a different platform. Go ahead.
So the shine-on platform says, made by working mothers at home that show pictures.
Oh, okay. So cool.
So could that, I think that would qualify.
We can talk to Eric about it to see if he's ever done anything or one of his, I know Eric pretty well. Okay. Maybe we can see what his thoughts are on that, because we don't want to misrepresent Eric's company,
But it does say handmade by working mothers at home.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that. I didn't even look. That's very cool.
And Randy has one that's similar on his Printex one.
Really?
What I was going to say is they show pictures of their people making the products. Now, it's not just one person, it's extra people, but those videos are available to us.
Wow. So I'll talk to Randy too, and let's see what we can do. I mean, what is the advantage? The advantage is you get a listing that stands out. It's pretty, right?
So Tammy, can you match custom or personalized with handmade? So if you wanted to have custom jewelry, would you come this way or would you go to the custom portal?
Custom portal is the easiest because it lives in your dashboard and you just literally enable it. Can you sign into your seller account? Do you mind? Or can I log in?
Seller?
Yeah. Or do you have?
Oh, yeah, just Seller Central. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Let's see. Why?
You can just sign in.
And then here?
And click on the name thing there. And it should be, I think it's the top one.
Okay.
And then sign in.
You like me? I have 5 million.
Should be the top one. Just
that one?
I don't know. Try
this one?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
And then sign in.
Sorry.
I have no idea why it's not signing in.
Okay.
How do you sign in? Which one is that under?
It's that one. But does it matter that it's .ca?
Do you have custom products in there yet?
Yeah. I'm just wondering if it should be. I just wonder if it should be .com.
Oh.
I just wonder if that makes any difference.
Yeah.
Are you talking about custom symbols?
Yeah.
Like for personalized?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a photo when you got like customized.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, exactly right.
There's about 200 or 400 of those.
Okay. I know.
It's probably because we're not in town. Like we're out of Prince George. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
Usually
Well,
it doesn't ever ask me.
When other people are from the same IP too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You better ship your order.
I know. We got time. We got time.
And you just want to see cutting boards, right?
Yeah.
Cutting boards
So
are like on our.
they have some custom cutting boards here in their account. So before you click on one, show them in your, go to your manage inventory.
This is manage inventory.
Yeah, and then edit over here and your variations. Okay, and then you see right here, the filter where it says custom. Okay, and it says enabled. If you have products that are not custom and you want to enable a custom feature, that's how you start listing and building them, right? And I think, don't you have videos on that? Somebody, yep. Randy does that. So that's the difference between customization and handmade. It's a whole different portal that you upload products through, but customizing, you're just enabling in here, right? When you build. And then this is what it looks like. And went to dictionary. Are you kidding me?
Right click.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
So see, this is his listing now. And you can, as a customer, you know, I'll hit customize now and put what I want in there, right? And you build that all from your Seller Central dashboard here. Does that make sense, the difference? In Handmade, I'm going to go over to that other platform, handmade.amazon, and I'm going to build listings in there, and they're going to show up with that pretty background that's different. Okay, anyone else? Last one? Go ahead.
How do you deal with hijackers?
Hijackers? Get brand registered first. So, to get brand registered, it's really your trademark. So go to trademarkia.com. It's a few $100. Trademarkia. Here.
Do you recommend just doing the US or the European Union and Canada and everyone else?
Just start with you. I mean, just start where you are. Okay. Yeah, I don't. It's ridiculous. It would cost you thousands of dollars. Yeah. And just pick one thing. Don't say, oh, well, my product could be in all these different categories, blah, blah, blah. When you go to checkout, it'll be like $4,000. Just pick the first one, the most relevant category that you want to be trademarked in, or whatever that's called, the
brand register.
Yes. So go to trademarkia.com right here. And then, you know, you can start register my trademark. There you go. Okay. And you fill that thing out. It should match your company name. Okay.
You shouldn't run into hijackers with personalized products. That won't happen in that.
Yeah, when you're dealing with personalized products, it's going to be a little bit less. Remember yesterday how I said keep innovating, keep making your product different than everybody else somehow? If you've got a personalized product, you're making a different image on your cutting board anyway, right? You're not going to share a buy box with Ken because you want your own designs. Right. So, but in answer to the question about hijacking, get brand registered is your first thing.
So I can't really complain if I'm not brand registered.
Nothing you can do if you're not brand registered. No. And they'll help you. And then depending on how many sales, they'll automatically start gating you, brand gating you, meaning if someone else tries to list your product, then it'll come up with an error saying that, you know, you're not. Sorry?
Every time I found a winning product.
Yes.
And
Every time he found a winning product, he was hijacked. Well, you know, shame on you for selling things so well. No, I'm just kidding. You know, I never want to rank number one. I always want to rank 3 or 4 because you're always going to have a moving. I mean, there's a life cycle to every product, right? Just, you gotta, I know it's frustrating, but brand registry is the key, and that's the real way, you know, to deal with it. Go ahead.
This probably doesn't pertain to the entire group, so I can speak with you privately. But
Okay.
I received an infringement claim from
Yes.
a product that I haven't sold for 2 years, and someone has altered the listing so that the photo of the image of the product we sold does not match the description and the title. Amazon.
You were sharing the buy box. She received an infringement claim from someone else saying they were infringing on their product. But you are the original product owner or no? You were not. Okay.
No, I just sold it through retail arbitrage.
Oh, okay.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Like 6 or 7 units.
Yep.
I've never sold it since.
Okay.
And
First of all, get that product out of your catalog. Just delete it.
Yeah, it's really important. Get rid of like all products that aren't selling anymore, because you'll get in trouble.
well, I'm worried that if I do that, I won't have the proof at all that the image doesn't match the product.
Oh, at this point, yeah.
Screenshots.
Anyway, Amazon has denied my request to have that removed and told me that I had to deal with the rights owner. Provided me an email address. I've written numerous times. I don't even get a response from them. So
They don't care. They're just trying to protect their product.
yeah,
But
I'm the one that has the performance notice on my account, and that affects my metrics.
you know, I've gotten a bajillion of those, and I take screenshots. I delete those products. Everything that I've ever done retail arbitrage, I get out of my account when I'm done. Just delete those things, because at any given moment, a product could get gated, brand gated, and now I'm infringing. So get it out of there.
This is the second time it's happened to me, and the first time the rights owner wrote back to me. They took care of withdrawing the claim from my account, and everything was fine. But this rights owner is not even responding.
Customer service will fix it.
Yeah, just keep
Customer service will do nothing.
an attorney. Yeah.
Get the right one.
You know, all I can say is good luck. You just have to keep at it and, you know, delete the thing. That's my recommendation. So,
If you're not,
sorry.
if you're not brand registered now, and then you become brand registered, does everything within your Seller Central or your products, does that get?
No, you can be brand registered. My store name is, you know, Tammy's whatever, right? But I could have, you know, my dog brand, my home and kitchen brand, my food brand, all brand registered under my one account. Does that make sense? So it's different. It's like a brand name. I'm selling a lot of different products under a brand name, and that could be in my store. My store name's different than my brand name. You know, I could be, sorry?
So he's wanting to know, so say you log on under, my name is Google, just say.
Yes.
So is everything in his store then brand everything? Or do you have to brand register?
No.
Thing?
Each brand.
Under your umbrella.
Yeah. So if you're, you know, if I'm Tammy's store and I want to brand register Tammy's store, and I call every single product in there Tammy's store, then I'm brand registered across everything. But most of us don't do that. Most of us have different types of products with different manufacturers, or sometimes so it depends on your business model, I guess. So I guess you could do it that way, but I like to change my store name a lot. And I like to, because you can change your store name anytime. And I like to keep my brands separate. Like all my pet products are one brand name, all my organic products are one name, and brand register them separately. Does that make sense?
So you have to trademark each one of those.
So I trademark each one of those brands. If I'm really doing well and I know I'm going to be in that niche for a long time, I'll trademark that brand and then bring in products under that brand.
Okay.
Question, apart from having the brand on your box of product,
where else on the platform that you go and register the brand?
So in brand registry, they require a few different things, right? They require you to have a trademark, right? They also require you to, show that you have a logo or a trademark on your box or your product. So an easy way to do that is a poly bag with some kind of sticker. Okay, if you can't put a tag or a whatever on your product, just put a poly bag on it and put a sticker on it that looks like it's, brand, not just a sticker, but like, with your logo and then the product name, a hang tag on a shirt. Those things work. And Randy will actually put a tag in your shirt with your brand name on it.
How early do you do that?
When you're selling, and you're.
As soon as you know that you're gonna be selling.
Yeah, I mean, brand registry is great for if you know that you're loving your brand name and you want to do that, and you've got a lot of products around that in a certain niche. It's your business. You decide when you want to protect it and when you want to take it to the next level.
So before you do that.
Yep.
Is there anywhere else that you tell Amazon that this is my brand? This is a brand. I don't know whether I asked the question correctly. So your store name could be Parody.
Yep.
My store name could be
Her
Parody.
Okay. Her store name is Parody, and then what else?
My brand is Cat Thing.
Her brand is Cat Thing.
Where do I tell Amazon that my product is under this brand before I do this?
You would just apply for brand registry and go through that, and then assign different.
I have to go through that.
You go through this, and then they bring in, because it's attached to your manufacturer name or your brand name. When you list a product, you put your brand name in there. So everything under that brand name now just gets put into that brand that you brand registered.
So on the listing, there's a place where I say this is the brand.
Yep, there's a list on the listing. There's a place where you would actually put in your brand name. So
you can have multiple brand name under one, the same merchant account?
yes, you can have multiple brand names under one merchant account. You see right here, brand name.
Oh, okay.
You want to give them a break and then come back.
So when we sell,
Because they've been going for it.
Yes.
I just want to understand something. If you can go back to your registry, and I'm going to give you my company name. I see two things and I don't understand it.
That's it.
So my company name is Paradise Lifestyles.
Okay. Are you registered or no?
No.
Okay.
And I want to register.
Okay.
So it's Paradise Lifestyles with an S at the end.
Yeah.
And I see, no, it's not Amazon.
God.
Okay.
the registry.
The registry.
Okay. Brand registry, yep.
Right. So I put, okay, so are you at
She's talking about
trademark here?
Oh, trademark, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So here you go.
Okay, so I put in Paradise Lifestyles for search.
Yep.
So it allows you to search to see if it's already branded.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. And what happened?
And I see two things. I see my company name with the LLC, which it is, and it looks fine, but I also see it without the LLC. And I want to know if somebody has it. How would I know that?
Usually it will, go to USPTO.
Oh, okay. I have to go there.
Go to USPTO.
Gotcha.
When you're brand registering, make sure your company name matches. Exactly. Commas, capitalizations, whatever.
And LLCs?
LLCs, whatever.
Exactly.
I'm talking exactly. No period, no space, whatever.
Thanks.
Yep. And
Last question.
last one.
Can you have multiple stores under one?
No. You can have, when you're brand registered, now you can have a store for that brand. You'll have a new storefront for that one particular brand. Okay, and all those products will come under that brand store. All right, storefront. So did that answer your question? Okay. All right, guys, thank you so much. Take a 15-minute break.
Perfect.
And seeing we've been talking about branding, when we get back, I believe that Phil K, you are doing branding after the break. It's amazing. We just finished up talking about branding in detail, and one of our experts at branding is going to be doing the next one. So quick 15 minutes. Lunch is going to be running a little bit late because we're pushed back a bit. So quick 15-minute break and back at it. I can't believe somebody ripped off that cake. I can't even believe it.
At home.
Where is Houghton? Let's go and have a quick smoke.
Same thing.
Can we set this up here?
Yeah, let me do that after. 1 second, I gotta grab it.
Oh.
Okay, so on one side you just have HDMI, which is nice. Right? Use that. And on this side, we will undo this. And we will do this. And then we'll take this down. Which side is this on? Oh, this is on this side. So if you want to plug that in on that side, and plug this one in on this side.
What is this one for? Oh, that's another HDMI.
Yeah, this one should work on the plugins over here, though.
Good. Let's do it. Let's see. Wow. Okay, that's quite small.
Technically, here's my link. Well, you know, these days, they're getting smarter and smarter. It's just a matter of time.
You good there? Yeah.
I would try to
Right now, they're gonna try to make a stop by here at some point today. Yeah. Yeah, the wife's gonna bring them by. Hopefully. Good. Are you going to be using the mic at all?
Yeah, I would like to use the mic.
Yeah, I've got it right here.
Great.
So when you're ready, just hold down this bottom button until that red light turns on.
Okay.
And that way, if you want to walk around or turn it off at any time, or put it back on, whatever you need.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check. What's up?
It hasn't been 15 minutes? No.
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 We got 5 is going to get text from you.
Yeah.
Hey, just before you get started, I just want to show one thing on YouTube before you get started. Take me like.
Okay, I'm just gonna open another YouTube just to make sure.
Yeah, just so. I just want to show them one of my super simple methods. Every time I order a product from Amazon, when it shows up, I do a quick review of it and stick it up with my link.
Yeah, cool.
Every single product comes in. I do a review, put it up there.
Yeah.
Some of them get a couple thousand views as they're
Yeah, exactly. You never know.
You get a check every single month.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
Just
true.
keep putting them up.
Yeah, true. Makes sense.
It's
That's a good
very,
trick.
very simple.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 7 to 3 on Houston.
It's just the beginning.
Yeah, I know. Houston's good.
Where do you live?
Montreal. We're not really into football. We're more into hockey.
Definitely hot.
Yeah,
I've
definitely
been
hot.
to a game there.
Yeah.
At the,
Yeah.
they still play there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They just changed the name now. It's the Bell Center.
What?
The Bell Center.
Okay, so
But
you're
it's
from
the same
Montreal.
place.
I've been trying to figure out if it's.
Yeah.
I used to drink some beer. Like 8% beer.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember it either?
I don't remember that. When was that?
Shit. Probably bet,
Yeah, we tried, but I don't really. I mean,
I've been
really into it. Sometimes it works, but never get like. Yeah.
So they got a pub like
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, the music industry is quite good, and then when you want to build like bands and things like that, because they're always looking for. So there's ways. So if it's building, a nice group around, a special, type of music, I mean, you can reach out bands and tell them, we have this great exposure, and if you want to get like visibility, you can put your music, your clips, song there. Even like if you build a mailing list, that's super great because like bands are looking to get more visibility on iTunes or Spotify or things like that, or even YouTube. So you get like this huge mailing list of people that love like that style of music. They send once in a while emails about this band or emails with a lot of bands in. So we can sell spots, so you can get your $100 spots on my 5 spots email, and each time you send an email, it gets like $1,000. So that's all that. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you have to be pushy. Like this business, I've been in this business. In the music industry, I had a recording studio and record label back then. So you have to be super aggressive if you want to make it. There's no way out. There's no way around. People will not discover music by itself. I mean, it's not like that. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Absolutely. That's a good way. I mean, that's, the music industry is huge. It's just it's not something that we tell you. A lot of people don't monetize it at all like the right way. So, there's a lot of room to be made there. It's just you need to work on the right things. Yeah, exactly. It's, but I'm not anymore into it. So I'm thinking sometimes, but it's just like starting, like again, because even if you've been there, you just when you haven't been there for a long time, you still need to start. That's the hardest part.
I recognize your name. Never saw his picture. So yesterday was the first time.
Oh, yeah, cool. I'm surprised. They're probably some of the most engaged. So that's why it's a good business. Something that you need to do funding is monetized the right way. So Yeah, yeah, like there's a big blog. It's called Labor Mouth, and they're a lot of doing metal music and all this kind of stuff. And they're making most of their money from companies that are producing events because they pay them to reach their fans, you know. So when you get like this kind of the target, let's say, I mean, you can go after like they're gonna pay like 5,000, 10,000 just to get banners there or feature like yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That would be influencer blogging. Yeah, labor market. So that's one of the best. That's yeah, exactly. Yeah,
there we go.
I think it's just like, I mean, to get as a band, as an artist, for sure it's hard because the music industry is very very closed, very controlled. No, for sure. That's for sure. I mean, it's even like Stairway to Heaven, you know, which is I think the 70s. What it was super hard for him to get on the radio when it was released back then. So now it's all super formatted. And the other thing is like the real thing is nobody. I mean, they say that people choose the music, the music that is going to be played, but that's not the BS. There's a major company like this. Now they're going for it. And the thing is, these companies are almost unlimited. So they used to produce their revenues and results. So it's why they control like 90% at least of the airwaves there. It's like everything is like almost like mafia industry. Totally closed. Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's what if you can get a fan base around that, I mean, and a good fan base is possible, you know. Because today, the biggest advantage that I think the big companies can control is the super hard to get out of the fan base.
Yeah. And where do we find our Michigan Wolverines?
I mean, you know, if you're really passionate about it, and he starts making money, encourage him to follow that path. There's sometimes we're like some stuck because we don't see the possibilities. That's okay. Okay. No problem.
Really good this year. One more.
And if I do Wolverine Sunblock, I can't even find it. So I think what I have to do is go to South Central. It's the only thing.
Apparently, Amazon's really bugged, like it's not showing a bunch of our reviews. Apparently, they're having some issues.
Which one is our account?
Well, I don't know what's going on with your one. You must have taken the password, because I can log into mine.
I thought I saw you changing the password.
Test, everyone. We're going to get started. Everyone can take their seats. We're going to get started.
Hello. What's up, guys? Can you hear me? We gonna scream. Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3.
There we go.
Here we go. You want to jump first? You want
Yeah,
to show something?
It'll take 2 seconds. Okay, let's take a quick look at something here. Just before Phil starts, let's take a look at something that is really, really simple. Oh, can I use this one right here?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, let's take a look at come on, load up. It's not wanting to load. Hang on, there we go. Looks a little slow. Give it a second. Now let's try to refresh here. It's struggling. It's got a play button.
Oh, here you go.
There we go. Every time you order a product from Amazon, do a quick review and throw it on YouTube. Every time a product comes in, do a quick review in the description, put your affiliate link, make a quick video. This one is as simple as it gets. There's no audio on there, but you get the idea. It's a simple review of the product I just ordered. If you take a look around the house, you'll find all kinds of products. This one has had Yeah, this one has already had, what, 1,194 views. It's all free traffic, and it takes you literally 2 minutes. And all you have to do is explain the product and tell them if you think it's good or not. If it's good, put the link in, and away you go.
Is that on your YouTube, Kim?
This was on well, I guess that is one of them, yeah, our friends that was using it. Anyway, some simple things you can do. We're ready for Phil when he comes back in. It's crazy little things like that that give you a check from Amazon every single month with very little effort. If you order a product, set up the camera, let it run, make a review. I helped a friend out and I said, hey, go through the house and find every product that you bought from Amazon, sit in front of the camera, make the videos. And then every time you order, make a simple video. Put your affiliate link in there. And over a period of time, you're just going to get natural, organic views. And you do nothing for it. And I'll guarantee you in a short period of time, you're getting checks of $200, $300, $400, $500 a month.
So you just posted on YouTube, not on Amazon anywhere?
No, it's just a video I put on YouTube. I went with the exact name, Bluetooth speaker by Pilot. And it's got Pilot, which is a brand, it's Bluetooth, and I put in the word review. Anyone who's trying to do a review on that product, I get natural views. I don't work for those sales, I just get those sales. It's just free money. Yes, sir.
Is this, the account that you use with this, is it part of Full Ride Apparel, or did you set up a separate account?
No, this is just another channel.
Just separate channel for
Yeah. Just do one for reviews and just keep dumping them there. That's it. Simple, free money. Anyway, here's my buddy Phil.
Thank you.
Hey. Hello. Can you hear me well on the mic? Yeah, sounds great. Amazing. Nice to be with you today, this morning. Hope you're excited. I want to know who wants to make $1 million. That's the easy question. Now, who wants to make $100 million? I'm not so sure here. Some people are not so sure about that. So there's a big difference between $1 million business that just, generate money, between $100 million that basically has strong pillars and that actually worth money for real, okay? And that's one thing we're going to go through today. I have a couple of examples for you, but first I would like you to listen to that.
Brother, there's an endless road to rediscover. Hey, brother, know the wild and sweet, but blood is thicker. Oh, if the sky comes falling down for you, there's nothing this world I would do. What if I'm far from home? Oh, brother, I will hear you call. If the sky comes falling down for you, there's nothing in this world I would do.
So guys, who know that brand? Nobody? So, do you know when this brand was actually founded? No, later than that. Basically in 1903 or something like that. But near. That doesn't matter. The thing is, Coca-Cola is probably the biggest brand right now in the world. And they sold more bottles of Coke, you've probably heard that, than any bottle of water in the world. Okay, that's totally huge. Now, I have a question for you. Have you ever seen first this ad? No, you never seen that? Okay, that was of their biggest successful ad ever that they did 2 years ago.
And the thing also I would like to ask you is, what are you getting from this ad? What are you getting from this? Sorry? Feel good, yeah. Sorry? Family, yeah. Emotions, yeah. Emotionals, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what a brand connects with and how it should connect with people. It's emotion, things that are part of you, you know. That has the biggest impact on what makes a very big difference between the commodities or any other soda companies and Coca-Cola, because they have built that through the age. You know, the Santa Claus that we know, and all our kids, if you have, you know, how deep is that? Okay. Now tell me what Coca-Cola main business is about. You're near. You're near. Sorry? No. You are right. I mean, it's a sugar can company first. So they are making sugar. That's their biggest business ever, you know? And through the age, we discovered that sugar was not good for health, especially transformed sugar, you know? And today, there's much more proof. My father was diabetic also, so he ate a lot of sugar and got a lot of problems with that and sadly died. And I remember going through injuries, and we talk often about that, my ankle injury. I went through surgery. And when I was on the operation table, the surgery table, my surgeon told me after that, he said, "Phil, you're fat." I said, "What? I'm fat. I don't look fat. I don't feel fat." "Yeah, you're fat. You're much more fat than the average. And you know what is going to kill you? It's sugar." The first time I was hearing forever a surgeon, someone that has over 38 years surgerying people, telling me without knowing anything about me that I was taking too much sugar, and sugar is gonna kill me at a certain point. You know, that's deep. That's deep. I've seen a lot of doctors and never seen that before. So tell me now, how a company like Coca-Cola is able to sell as much and continue to grow and still sell sugar. Addicting, but even over that, we're going back to the message. We're going back to the original message. You know, think about it. Think about McDonald's. Think about all this big food chains company. You know, how they are linking us into the emotional way and create that connection. So we are much more addicted to sugar, but to their message. Message communication, part of the branding. And now what's the difference between Coca-Cola and Pepsi? And why? That's your personal taste. Because Pepsi never had this strong connecting message as Coca-Cola. You know, what they try to do most of the time, and you can remember that, Pepsi used brand ambassador, which is great. It's a great strategy. It works. But hiring Michael Jackson, Beyonce, and all this kind of thing, there's no emotional connection except a connection to the brand ambassador. So when you're building a brand, you first need to think about the emotion that you're going to create with your people, your audience, the audience that you want to build around yourself. Now, it's not a pure hazard why I took like this. Both brand here is probably the both brand. Yes, I consume. I'm totally, sadly addicted to Coca-Cola. That's a bad piece, but I'm working on that to fix that. But I like coffee. I like coffee. And again, why Starbucks coffee? You know, Starbucks has the biggest growth in coffee. And by the way, there are no franchises, by the way. I learned that like really a couple of months ago. Each Starbucks that you see are owned by the company, okay? So they're the fastest growing company in the world in terms of coffee right now. But coffee is another great thing about a commodity. You can go at the, anywhere and buy coffee with no brand. Why makes Starbucks so good again? No? Experience. I like that. Experience, I like that. You know what? Why? Because each time that I go to a Starbucks coffee, I feel special. Why I feel special? Because they ask my name. They put my name directly on their cup. Now, I mean, they have stickers, but I prefer when they were writing it by hand. I understand why they do stickers because it's a logistic matters. Sometimes, I mean, you just get a lot of people and it takes forever to write their name. But I loved when they did that. That was the personal experience and what we call customer experience, basically. That has a lot to do when you grow a brand. Because, and especially if you're doing AliExpress and all this kind of stuff, you understand it better because you can see, when it takes like forever to get your stuff, or to send it to your clients or your customers. It takes it forever. And you see how people feel bad about it. Customers' experience is another great thing, another important thing. So today we are going to go through a branding 101 session because I can talk about branding forever. But I want to get you like the basics so you can understand how to build it and to make a difference while you're building your business. Then after that, I will show you probably 2 brands, and I will talk about other brands as well, that made massive exit recently, and it took them like 5 years to achieve that. Okay? So who thinks here as a brand right now? Who thinks that? Okay. The truth is, okay, I know personally like some people, but I don't know you personally and haven't seen you anywhere before. So I don't know your brand also. Okay, if Jack Ma was here, I would say, yes, you have a brand. He has a brand, okay? Nobody here has a brand, but here, everybody that is working on a brand is building on the path of building a brand. Even if I have my Goth Rider t-shirt, I have my hats and all this kind of stuff, I cannot say that I have a brand yet. I'm working on it right now. And the reason is it takes about 15 years to build a brand and to be recognizable by the others. Why is that? Anybody heard about the Pareto law? Yeah? Okay. So you need to reach 20% of your audience to get this reach that will transform your message to the rest of the population. Once you get there, you can say that now, if you haven't reached, you still have a lot of work to do. The reason is, I mean, you haven't reached enough people, you know, in your niche or in your audience or all this kind of stuff. So there's a lot of work to get there. So it's why it takes 15 years. Yesterday, I think we were talking about Lululemon's. Yep. Lululemon's was built here, but let's say nobody that was living in Vancouver knew what Lululemon was 10 years ago. And Lululemon was built in the 1990s. Okay? Wow. Okay? Now, Under Armour. Who knows Under Armour? When you started to see Under Armour? Tell me. When was that? When you started seeing them over and over? 10 years ago. Makes all sense. So that brand, and I mean, they had a huge reach when they started signing again ambassadors and things like that. That brand again was built in the 1990s. Imagine. It took them at least 10 years to get there and started another 10 years to get the reach they have today, which is totally crazy. So if you're looking to build a brand, don't think you will be able to cash fast. Don't think you will be able to cash next year, except if you're putting billions of dollars behind. I didn't say millions, because today it takes billions, okay? And they put billions, if you think about that, but over 15, 20 years, you know? So this is the long game. Now, like I've said, there's like some brands and much more brands now that are able to leverage things faster thanks to the internet. Thanks to the internet, because today we are able to reach our audience faster, to build a community around that, and to get to the next level faster than it was before. Because remember, before, you had to go through the radio, through the newspaper, to the magazines, televisions. They say in average, if you want to have a decent reach in the United States, it takes $1 million by states to get a decent reach per month. Imagine. That's a lot of dollars. A decent reach. So probably 20% of the reach that you should get. That's a lot. So the next thing that is super important when you're building a brand, for sure there's just trust and all this kind of stuff, but trust is not coming if you're not able to tell me what are your promises. So what are your promises when you're building a brand? When you're building a business? You know, it is fast shipping. It is 3 days, you're going to get your stuff. How Amazon is keeping their promises. We were talking about Amazon earlier. No one? Who's doing Amazon here? So, tell me, why people are buying from Amazon? Yeah, Prime. and how that came there? Why it came to that point? How Jeff Bezos built this entire business on that? He built it on customer experience and making sure. And there was I've seen a video recently going on Facebook, and that was totally amazing. He said that his success is whole because of his promises that he was going to get fastest shipping, best customer experience ever for his customers. That was probably like 2 lines. And these 2 lines changed the whole way everybody shops today. You know? So think about that today. You're building a store, even if you don't think about building a brand, but if you're building a brand, it's much more important. But promises is same thing when you meet someone and you shake his hand. You get a contract with these people. You know, I promise you that I'm going to be there today and talk to you about branding. I made these promises to Ken. I took the plane, I came here, I show up today, and I talk to you. That was my promises. What's your promises? Does that make sense? So let's play a game and let's just, you know, name a couple of brands for fun, randomly. Nike. Oh, we love that. I like that because that's totally on point with what I've talked today. What they're doing today, Nike, with the message. You can agree or disagree. You know?
Today they said on Facebook, their stock went down 3%, but their profit went up 30%.
There you go. You know, that tells a lot. That tells a lot. But again, they played on emotions. You know? That's emotion is better than anything ever. Take the time to craft a good copy talking about something that is super emotional in your ads. Don't talk about discounts. or anything else. You will see the impact you will have on yourselves. But take the time to do it well. You will see. Okay? Why any brands that attach themselves to how we say that, to I forget the name, sorry, to a charity, they have so much success. Emotion, they're going into emotions, you know. So that's another thing. Another brand now, Apple. What Apple is known for?
Quality and innovation.
And customer service.
Customer service, customer experience again, huh? So why makes Apple, even if they're more expensive than any computers, and you can still see these battles online, PC versus Apples and all this kind of stuff, you know, and Apple still win, you know, most of the time, because you know that if there is any problem with your computer, or for myself, I was lucky. I had like 2 free computers because 2 times my Apple burns. But if that would have happened with HP or I don't know, Dell or anything, they probably would have charged me. They gave me 2 free computers, $5,000 worth 2 times. You know, they gave me $10,000 free cash money for 2 new computers. Imagine. And we are fighting sometimes to not give the refund for $30 for clients that bought something from AliExpress. Tell me about that. They are able, because they know, they play the long-term game. They play the branding. They know that I'm going to go on Twitter. I'm going to go on Facebook. And I will tell the world how much I love Apple. They play that game, you know? So, and they try to put themselves into their feet. But when you're going to the Apple store, you know, that's another story. There are so many people around, and sometimes, yes, it takes time, but they are there for you. You know, that's one. That's a good one. Next, another last one, brand name.
You don't have it in Canada, but you know, the brands that are sort of made a big in transportation US are like Lyft and Uber.
Yeah. Lyft and Uber. That's a good one. That's a good one. So we have Uber in Canada. And again, I can tell you, for myself, it was customer experience, you know. That's how they disturb the market, not only because of their price and all this kind of stuff, is like it was actually real people that drive their own car, and they try to take care of yourself, of you as much as possible. You know, I don't, even today, I'm taking like the normal cab, and I don't have any, I can remember when someone proposed me a bottle of water in a normal yellow taxi cab, you know, or gum or candies or whatever, you know.
They built a business with a great brand, but they build it on better customer experience, because who wants to ride in a smelly taxi cab?
Yeah.
Now you're riding in somebody's personal car they care about, and you're supporting somebody who you sort of emotionally relate to as a business.
Exactly. No, exactly. And I totally agree on that. And more is the number of conversation that I had with these people compared to the normal taxi cab is unreal, you know, and sometimes like deep conversation. I never thought I was like going to the barber shop, you know, like you have like, you know, your barber shop and you talk about a bunch of stuff. I have that kind of conversation now with Uber drivers or Lyft drivers that I would never have. And like, I would be super happy if this guy comes back and take me again, you know, by luck, I get like the same driver, you know? So that are the kind of stuff now that are changing. So if we are taking that back again, so we're talking about what? We're talking about emotions, customer experience, and promises. So I've already told you who am I, but just a quick overview. You know, who's Phil? Who's this guy like talking about branding and all this kind of stuff? You know, so I've been like in business since 1999. Started to work in much more in the internet sphere in 2003. I had the opportunity to work with a lot of 500 companies like Toyota, Universal Music, Sony Music, Microsoft, Subway, restaurants, and more. So I had the chance to work directly with the brand and also their agencies, and what was also their own their philosophy also behind. So that helped me a lot to understand this world, because when you're playing at that stage, at that level, it gives you like some insight that you will not necessarily understand when you start, you know? So that gives me a good advantage and unfair advantage there. I will not go through because we already went through that a couple days ago. But one thing now I think that is super important, because a lot of people are mixing brands and commodities. And there's a big difference there, you know? So commodities are things like, you know, the daily stuff, you know, like a mouse, computer mouse, soft drinks, we talked about it, water, sneakers, cell phones, computer, whatever, you know. Commodities are things like that, general stuff that you will consume. Now brands are Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a brand for soft drinks, Pepsi, Fanta, whatever, water, there's brands for water, Evian, you know, Aquafina. Sorry? Yeah, also. Sneakers, Nike, Adidas, whatever, cell phones, Apple, Samsung, etc. So it's very important to understand that, because most of the time we mix that together, you know, and there's a real separation between that. So if you think you're having a general store and selling sneakers there and they're not branded, I mean, you're not going on the right path to build a brand. You know, what you're doing is just selling another commodities like anything, you know. But if you are specialized, like let's say Foot Locker. Foot Locker is a general sneaker store, you know, and now wider because they sell like sports apparel, but they are a brand into a general store, specialized general store. You know, if we're thinking about Canadian Tires, or I don't know, like what else, Lowell's in the United States, things like that. They are general brands, general store brands, regrouping a lot of smaller brands, okay? But they made their name there through the ages, you know? People know about it when you talk, okay, where I'm gonna go and get like this light bulb? Oh, I'm gonna go to Canadian Tires. I mean, they have a wide choice of whatever and all this kind of stuff, you know? So this is there. It's anchored in your mind, you know, because they have hammered you for the past couple of years. So now the question is, because we are talking about that, so I like that Chris and I, you know, we've been brainstorming a lot during the years that we're doing e-commerce, and one thing that we always agreed on is there's really two sides of the business. One side is, you know, you flipping cash, you're making money, and that's good, and you're looking on the day-to-day stuff, you know, and that's okay. That's not a bad business. It works. It's a lot of struggles at a certain point. And you have like building a brand, which, yes, you can make money while building a brand, but you can have like some sort of an exit strategy at a certain point where this brand can be valued at much more than what you have. You talked about friends that they sold their business. I have also some friends that sold their business between 5 and 20 multiples of their profits, okay? The great thing today is a profitable brand on e-commerce can worth a lot today. And the reason why I'm going to explain that very short is a lot of the old type traditional businesses are looking to get into the market. They're looking to go after audiences. They don't have the staff and the knowledge there to go after after that market. And what they're looking for is to put their hand on smaller established brand and to acquire them at a good multiple for you, and for them is super cheap because they know how much it would cost to buy stuff. So if you think that Walmart paid a lot of money for Jet.com, they paid that pennies for them. It's super cheap, you know? So because they know that all the traffic they're getting, now they have a bunch of people that are feeding also their marketplace and all this kind of stuff. For them to do exactly the same thing that Jet did, it would take them probably, even if it would take them like 5 years instead of 10 years, it will cost them probably much more dollars than the price they acquired that. So my vision of that, there's really one thing is you can build brands, you can build profitable brands, and even like some non-profitables. If you think about the Dollar Shave Club, it was a business that was losing money like crazy, but was sold for billions of dollars to, I think it was Unilever, something like that. So why? I mean, they have already Gillette, they have already all these big brands, but they didn't have this exact market. They didn't understand this exact market. So they decided to go after them and buy them. It was much more easier. They have like this multiple hundreds of thousands of subscribers for this amount of money. They know that they will just need to feed them up and continue that, and they will be able to profit at a certain point. And at a certain point also for them, I mean, they're a public company, revenues worth a lot also, not only profit. So the strategy there is different. They need to increase their amount of volume also, you know? So there's a lot of reason why big brands will acquire you. Sometimes it's strategic partnership, and sometimes it's to increase their volumes, sometimes it's to increase more profit, sometimes it's to buy expertise. What Google has been doing for the past couple of years, they have been buying small businesses, close them down, but bought the brain, basically, because the brain worth a lot for them, you know? So that's another strategy why a big multi-million companies will come and buy you if they see that there's a strategic fit also there. Yes, you're right. So it's all about building equity, okay? People are ready to pay more. So when I say people are ready to pay more is really when you have a ring. So I'm making rings, jewelry, and things like that. I try to position myself as a high-end brand, and I'm going to tell you the truth. It's hard. It's hard because it's not the same game. It's not the same audience. It's not the same thing as selling like $40 ring, which $40 rings comes in two commodities, you know, most of the time. You know, because if you check not generic stuff, but much more branded stuff like Pandora, Alex and Annie, you know, however it is made, they have a brand strong name, which brings much more value to the product itself. So people are ready to pay more. I have a friend that sells $100 t-shirts like that. Okay, exactly the same thing, $100 t-shirts, and he built a brand about high-end brand for t-shirts. The difference, I mean, is their t-shirt is made in LA, bring in Montreal, they scratch it a bit, they give like some sort of a twist, handmade twist, and then they're able to sell that for much more. And people see the value there, you know. You can think about, you know, the biggest brand out there, you know, Balenciaga, Alexander McQueen, all this kind of stuff. I mean, they're selling like $1,000 t-shirt, you know, no problem. But we all know how much it costs to make a t-shirt, you know, but they're able like to create that kind of value there, which is totally crazy. But there's a market for that. There's a market for everything. The other thing also why you want to buy a brand, why you want to build a brand is loyalty. I mean, like I was saying, you know, I'm loyal now to Apple. I mean, they brought me much more money that I would be able to afford right now, you know, let's say, because they bought me like this 2 times computers that I've already bought and, you know, all this kind of stuff. But that kind of thing that you can build is loyalty, you know, because people, and especially if you care about your customers, if you create like everything that we talked about, the promises, the emotion, and customer experience. So they will like to come back and buy again from you again and again. The other thing also is you can get better value dollar for visibility. At a certain level, and I used to do event marketing, and I remember where we were bringing brands to event, sometimes the event producer was ready to discount like crazy our place on the event, just because they wanted to have Toyota there, because they know if Toyota is there, they're going to be able to leverage other brands. They're going to say, hey, Toyota is coming today at our event. You should sign. Oh, yeah, I want to be with Toyota. I want to be able to say, I am at Toyota, you know? So that kind of stuff, you know, like Gothrider, we were at Harley Davidson show. So now what I'm going to say is like Gothrider was at the Harley Davidson show, you know? I bought a place to be where Harley's was, you know? So that creates some sort of value. People can say, oh, you can associate your brand with another, you know? So this creates a lot of value for bigger brands. Easier to introduce a new product line. You know, that's one thing that we're talking about. How you can, you know, create a product that works well, let's say on T-shirt, and now you try to bring that on shoes or on another thing. When you don't have an established brand, it's super hard, and it's like almost sometimes starting back again for this new product line. But when you have making new shoes, it's exactly the same sole, air sole, whatever. I mean, they're making for 20 years now, but it's just like they changed like the thing, and now everyone goes crazy and they want to buy like this thing because they're super fan and they're super loyal. So it's easy to come there. And the other thing also that is great is you finally can forecast the kind of revenues that you're going to make from a new product line. Something that is super hard when you're not an established brand. Because you can survey your people, you can have more information about your people, what they like, what they don't like. You can create a bunch of stuff that will give you like that information. So when you have like a new product line, it's gonna go, the expectation will be much more measurable than, let's say, an average brand or no brand at all. And also, it's going to give you market share leverage, you know? So market share leverage, again, I think that's the biggest example that we can see is today's Nike campaign, because they're known, but once they make like something that is totally out of the traditional, let's say, way of advertising, they're going to get like this increase like crazy because they're known and they can use that as a leverage now to get much more coverage. Does that make sense? Yeah. Are you sleeping? No. I know it's not going to be as fun as tomorrow with the Facebook ads and all this kind of strategy, but I think that going back to the basic and understanding that will help you at a certain point, that's for sure. Now, the other thing that I want to bring on is when you're building a brand, there's a lot of advantage as well, you know? So what I like to say is how you can beat the competition. You know, beating the competition is one thing. So one thing is premium price, okay? And I like to take that. I already told you that as an example, but you know, a black shirt is a commodity. Black shirt I've been selling for ages now, you know? Black shirt is a black shirt, you know? But what makes the difference between a black shirt that you sell it at $20 and a black shirt that you sell it at $100? You know, again, the branding, you know, that has a lot of, and it's exactly the same. You know, if I had like a Gucci or Balenciaga like logo here, you would say, oh my God, this guy must have paid like $1,000 to make that, to buy that, you know, totally. And that is how you perceive the whole brand. Better direct web traffic, okay? And if you're doing like Google AdWords, I mean, probably one of my most profitable Google AdWords campaign up to date, again, is people that are typing my brand name directly in the search engine, and they see my ad there, and they see after my organic traffic from there. This is probably, again, the best. The thing is, it's cheap. because people know already my brand name. So it's easier to rank there, you know? And if you have been there for a long time and you're specialized in one thing, it's going to be, again, like cheaper, and it's going to be easier. So better direct web traffic. The other thing also is all the organic traffic that you're going to get. People knows you a lot. I mean, they're going to go on the search, I mean, on the domain bar, whatever, and they're going to type like your brand name directly. So it's all organic, direct traffic. You don't have to pay anymore for that. So when you go on Amazon, I mean, rarely, I mean, you're going to go on Amazon on Google and type Amazon, you're going to go on search bar, I know, Amazon.com or Amazon.ca. I mean, you will pay less for, I mean, as a brand, they pay less for that. The other thing also today is products are getting launched at a crazy speed and customers are taking fast, impulsive decision, you know? So that's another thing also with an established brand is when, you know, the difference between, again, selling, I don't know, like, if you're licensed with Disney stuff, you know, and you're known for your Disney product, and you will always get the advantage against the other, you know, that are selling stuff that are totally random, you know, because you have established brand there. Even if the others are trying to launch much more stuff, you will get noticed better because you are already known, you know. So that has another impact. And the other thing is that I would like to bring on is make it hard to copy. Today, you know, everybody is copying everyone, sadly. And that's a huge problem also, especially when you look into the Facebook feeds and you're looking like for something that is special. I mean, and also with all the Chinese manufacturing and now the Endel stuff, the properties there, the trademarking and all this kind of stuff, you need to come up with things that will resonate in people's mind, but you need to think of how you can make it hard to copy, you know, to avoid that. I was reading an article just earlier about the brand name Dope, you know, and Dope is probably one of the most copyrighted brand in the world also. I mean, not copyrighted, copied brands. Thank you. Here you go, copied brand in the world. And basically, I mean, it's easy to understand why, because it's a word, dope, you know, everyone can use dope, you know, and you don't think dope marked, you know, as a brand. So, you know, it's easy to copy that kind of stuff. It's easy to copy the kind of products they're making. But if you come up, with basic products that are easy to make, but something that is much more proprietary and unique to your brand, it's going to make it much more difficult. And one thing that I like a lot about jewelry is super time consuming in terms of building, especially the piece that we're making. There's a lot of steps. Yes, it can be copied, but it takes, for the average people, it takes much more time to understand and to make it happen. So I'm less concerned about that. But a t-shirt, it's easy, you know, a bunch of apparel stuff, it's easy. Leggings now, it's super easy to do it and to copy whatever, you know. So think about sometime, and you don't need to overthink, but think about things that can help you to differentiate yourself from the others that can make it hard to copy as well. So now, great questions. How to position yourself as a brand, you know? That's one thing I like because it has a lot to do with the slogan, you know? And that's very important because you need to understand what makes people remember your brand, you know? So Coca-Cola, we know it's the original. And why it's the original? Because it was the first known brown liquor soda drinks, you know? Volvo, when you think about Volvo, what you think about? Safety, you know? Apple, Innovation. We talked about it. Used to be. Colgate. I like this one. Most recommended by Woo. By Woo. The guy on the ad that you don't really know if it's a dentist or not, you know, like, yeah. So, Wells Fargo, Heritage. Hey, Wells Fargo has been there since the Wild West. You know, it's anchored in people's, you know, mind in generations, you know. Probably your grand father was as his bank account there, you know, back day. Intel, how it's made, Intel inside, you know. That's a great one, you know. Also, Intel in 2000, if I remember, I think 2007, 2008, Apple decided to move away from IBM microchips to Intel. And it was, at that time, it was probably the weirdest move that most of people thought, because the processor that IBM was doing was probably the most powerful out there, and was used into supercomputers. And that was what makes Apple used by professional as well. And the problem is, Steve Jobs wanted to change also their line of products. They wanted to go into much more minimal type of designs. It was really hardly into innovation, and he wanted. Steve Jobs always wanted to make things simple as possible, and basically, IBM didn't want to take that path. They wanted like to stick to what they were used to do, which sometimes it's good. And when they made when they go for to get the deal, IBM declined. They said, no, we're not going to do anything. And Intel came in, and Intel said, you know, we are going to work with your engineers. We're going to make everything that needs to be possible to get into your machine. And there's two things here. Is Apple at that time was not as what it is now. It was a very, it was still Iron, very known brand still, but nobody knew that it would be at the stage it is now, especially when you think about iPads, iPhone, and all this kind of thing there, you know. Intel capitalized like crazy because they were enough flexible to say, you know what, we're gonna make a deal together. We're gonna make this work. And IBM now, I mean, they're almost not anymore in this kind of business. If you see, they're much more in services and things like that, you know. One decision that can change everything. That's crazy. Another one that I like is Levi's. Yeah, Levi's. I mean, 1873, San Francisco, immigrants that came in San Francisco. The guy, I mean, we all know Levi's for their jeans 501. I mean, that was the first jeans they made, and it's still there. Imagine their branding is not even on the jeans, is on the brand of the jeans, on the number of the jeans. You know, that's another level, you know. So a bit like iPhone, you know, iPhone is there, you know. So they have like two brands in a brand. And, you know, like Levi's, I mean, this guy, I mean, when he came in, he had the general store, he was selling tent, and he had this friend that was into the tent tissue, let's say. And they decided just to start doing, what we call that? Sorry? The rivets. Also, they are known for the first jeans with rivets, but they are known also for the...
Overalls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So here you go. So yeah. So yeah. So I mean, they and again, this is probably one of the oldest like brand here in North America. You know, so there are cool ideas like that. So now, key points to build a brand. So first of all, that's one thing that I preach more and more. Chris is preaching that as well, is know everything about your market. You know, you need to be a master at your niche. Market master at your niche. Yeah, that's super key. Okay, and when I'm saying you that is when I first went into bikers niche, skull niche, or anything like that, I didn't know a thing about that. I really came there by accident. So I had to go and to start reading blogs, reading magazine, looking for the magazine that was there, going to the event. That's super key. If you're able to go to any event that is related to your niche, start meeting people, talking to them, understand what they like, what they don't like, joining groups, So all this kind of stuff will make a huge difference because you will have like direct feedback from what is their lifestyle and what they're looking for. And at a certain point also, if you have enough data, you're going to be able to survey them and to get even much more information on what could work or not for them, The other thing also is what does your brand stand for? People needs to know, People needs to know what are you there? What are you making different than the others? Okay, at Guthrider, my thought is we are doing badass jewelry and apparel for people that loves to live on the edge. Okay, so people that loves risk, people that loves to to jump on parachute, people that loves to do motorbiking, motocross biking, whatever. I mean, we're there now. At a certain point, we're just for bikers, but now we decided to go broader, And one of the brand that I really love that does that very well is Red Bull. Think about Red Bull, how strong Red Bull is. It started with a small syrup can, not even can, like bottle that tastes awfully, and turned it into a multi-billion-dollar business that now does F1 racing and all the crazy event, parachuting, guys that jump from the 30, whatever, like 100,000 feet from the moon or whatever. I mean, they did like all this crazy stuff and they're known for that. And that's a brand that I really love. And that's a brand for my brand that I want to be tied in because I feel we have the same type of value. That's another thing. Think about the brand that you will love to join in, the brand that you want to be together. Because at a certain point when you're going to start doing event marketing, which is key, guerrilla marketing and all this kind of stuff, you want to be with these kind of brands. Associating, it's like in the real life. You associate yourself and you're personal with people that you want to be and what you want to grow with. A brand is not different than a person. It's the same thing. So you need to surround yourself with the same kind of brands. Again, what are your promises? What is your unique selling proposition? That's probably the hardest thing that as a brand builder or a business owner, we always have difficulty to come with. What makes us different, or what makes this product different, or what makes it that people will see, oh yeah, these rings, I mean, I know why they're made and why we do this and that and this and that, Or in one phrase, you're able to sum it all, and that's what people will remember as well. You're selling unique selling proposition. And the other thing also is why you? If you're selling shoes, if you're another shoes company, why you? Why you? I remember Vibrant. I don't know if you know the brand Vibrant that does shoes, barefoot shoes. You've seen that? Yeah, that's weird. I mean, the first time I've seen that, that was crazy weird. You can see the toes on the shoes. I've never seen that. I mean, that was like, well, okay, what is that? I mean, first of all, this company went totally in another direction, but something that was talked a lot about running barefoot. But the problem is running barefoot. When you think about it, you go on the road here. You never know what you're gonna get. Into your feet. So running barefoot is very good. Basically, we were running barefoot for, for forever before shoes came in. So they wanted to bring that, but they wanted like to feel that you can feel the same feeling. So they built something for that. Now they made their brand into soul after. They are making they're making soul for Solomon's, they're making soul for other brands, but they started with this weird idea of getting barefoot shoes, you know, that looks like like feet basically, and that was making them totally different. Unique product, art to copy, you know, unique selling point proposition. You have it all there, you know. That's a super good example. And then after that, like I was saying, get a tagline, get a slogan, because you want to brainwash your people when you're meeting people. We are badass jewelry and apparel business, you know. And I was at the show 2 weeks ago presenting my jewelry stuff, and I had my business card there, black business card, very simple. And each time that people took that, the thing that they've seen is the badass jewelry and apparel. That was what made a smile on every people. That was my tagline. That's it. That's all, you know. So think about it, how people needs to perceive you, and make a slogan based on that. Make sense? Cool, cool. Oh, I love that. That's probably one of the most important thing that I've seen through the age. And from all my marketing career, like so far, almost like now 19 years, be consistent. I'm seeing business, and I can tell you I've been like through that, because sometimes, you know, we want to get like the right thing, you know, there, but try to be consistent. And I have proof that if you're not consistent, your business can fall down like crazy. Okay, be consistent. Don't change your logo every week. Okay, don't change your Shopify theme every week. Okay, don't make too much change at a time. That's super bad. I used to have an internet radio station, and I told you about that. And I remember at a certain point, we were changing the website every 3 months because we were not satisfied personally. Personally, we were not satisfied. But the people that were coming and enjoyed our radio station didn't care how it looks. It could look shit, but they love the content, you know? So because we change, the thing we forget is we know we changed something. But most of the people, when you change something, especially drastically, will think it's not anymore the same. They will come there and they say, oh, what is that? Is this the same company? Oh, no. Okay, bye. And they will forget you. People likes when it's not changing. People don't like to change. People don't like to see things changing so much or so drastically. When you're looking at cars, you know, most of the cars out there, there's cool cars out there. And you look at the sketches that they did like 20 years ago, super futuristic cars that were looking like crazy good and all this kind of stuff. And you're looking at the cars here. Okay, they're cool, but nothing like it looks like in the sketches. You know why? People don't like that. As cool as it looks, people will not buy that at all. People don't like when things change too much or too drastically. We're not made for that. It took us ages to change when you think about it. And in the last 50 and 100 years, the curve went like crazy fast at the rhythm that even our body is changing and doesn't understand how things are changing right now. It's the same thing that happens in the brain. Same thing as we perceive. So when you make changes, plan it gradually. Take a year. Sometimes we feel today that a year is too long. But no, it's not too long for our brand, or our brain and our brand. It takes time. You know, it's not a 100-meter run. It's a marathon in all ways. Always that we can think of, it's a marathon that we're working on. Other thing, respect your promises. You know, if you offer 2 years warranty and finally someone types in and they say, and you say, oh no, I want to return, but you had like a 2 years warranty, and no, sadly it's 30 days today. I mean, sorry, man. that doesn't work. You're breaking your promises right away. You will not see this customer and their friends anyway, you know. The other thing also, I'm working a lot with e-commerce business, and that's one thing I found out for me as an agency also is probably the most difficult thing, but I totally 100% agree why they're doing that. Controlling the message. What I mean in controlling the message is when you have a strong brand, you have strong, you have guidelines. And these guidelines, the same way that we're talking about changes, these guidelines needs to be consistent. Because when you're changing too much again, you might lose the control and your brand can be a total mess. When you're dealing with super big companies, they're gonna give you a book where you're gonna see their logo guidelines, the way they tag their slogan, the way the type of message that you can use, the where you can dispose the brand, in which corner, which colors that you should use and not use, and a bunch of crazy stuff like that. And all this is super controlled because they want to make sure that they have the same type of, you know, imagine you are doing McDonald's, you keep like the arch, but you put it purple. You know, what's going to happen? Even people are going to say, what the fuck? What is that? So that's the reason why you want to control the message. So imagine now, if you're working with an agency or partners or whatever, even like you're going for an event and you've dealt that yourself, I mean, make sure that they use exactly what you tell them to use, and don't take, I would say, assumption that they will do it. Ask for approvals, you know, because a lot of time you can get a lot of bizarre stuff happens if you don't double check. Make it relevant to your market. That's another thing, you know. Most of the time I see stuff that just doesn't fit in the market. You know, people are going to, I don't know, like advertise, you know, let's say, you know, mom stuff to heavy metals, whatever. I don't know, like I'm making up something, but, you know, just things that just doesn't make sense. Even in your targeting, when you're doing your targeting in Facebook or even in Google, you know, don't try to go too large or too broad, because you, again, I mean, not only you're not making relevant, but your message will not resonate the way it should be, you know, and that's going to be a lot of dollars and energy spent for nothing at all. So you want to make sure that things line up correctly around that. That's super important. Take your time. Don't rush or cut the corners. I mean, so many times I'm seeing that we're so excited about this product and we just want to launch it and get the feedback from people. And finally, we found out that, oh, that was not the right image. That was not the right copy. I made a mistake here. And that what happened is showing that you're not careful about your brand enough, you know? And that can happen. I mean, errors can always happen, and that's part of the thing. But try to take care as much as possible, because this will have impact at the end on how people perceive your brand, you know? So how to launch or relaunch a brand. So I'm in my relaunching phase of brand. So, I mean, a lot of things will have a lot to do with that. But also when you launch, I would say now, I feel that's probably the best thing to do. I try to separate that like from basically spending dollars as much as possible. Try to avoid spending dollars as much as possible at the beginning. The reason why is too easy to get addicted to paid advertising. And paid advertising, as good as it is as bad as it is. Especially when you get all this Facebook slaps or change in algorithm, and it's everywhere the same. You know, you get like that kind of stuff on Facebook, on Google, on Amazon as well. You know, you can get like random stuff, and And when you don't have like a tight audience or tight build up, I mean, you will always tied to that. And once you don't get this anymore, you will feel like a drug addict and you will not be able to understand the business anymore. You know, you will need to relearn everything. So my best advice here is when you start with your brand. So now that you're a brand, now that you want to build a brand, you should be proud about what you're building. No? No? Yes. So I understand that a lot of people don't want to show off because they're afraid of getting copied. If you're afraid of getting copied, it's because you're not building a brand. Okay? So you should be there. I mean, we're super transparent. Chris and I are super transparent with our brand. Everybody knows about what we're doing, you know. And I did that at a certain point when I started to talk about Gothwriter basically when I started people starting copy my store. I mean, I got copied like so many times, exactly the same stuff. And say, you know what? I'm going to go out. I'm going to show what I'm doing because basically copy me. I don't care. I mean, I'm here for the long game and I'm here to brand my stuff and people will know for what I am. And they know now that I have Gothwriter, you know, and that's me. That's my brand. And we're building it. So you have to be out and, you know, basically if you're out and you show your stuff, you're going to start going after your friends, your surroundings. Try to find if any people in your surroundings, friends and local, even local in your city are fit for what you're doing. You know, you're going to go on shows, you're going to go on events, just as participant, you know, not as having your booth there or anything like that. You're just going to go there and almost like doing like the salesman yourself because you're representing that brand. You're going to go to shake hands, to talk to people about what you're doing, to create contacts in the community, all this kind of stuff that everybody hates. Everybody hates, especially in this business, because everyone wants to stay behind their computers. That's why we're doing that business, basically, because we don't want to go out. But the truth is building a business needs efforts, physical efforts, okay? So you need to go out and go to these events, meet people, talk on the phone. You know, that's hard, taking the phone today and call people and tell them about what you're doing, you know? But if you're proud enough, I mean, you're going to do it because it's about being proud about what you build, you know? So that's part of it. The other thing also, it's if let's say you are in a relaunch part, is the best thing also is to go after your existing customer base. Now, if you had bad experience with some customers, you will try to filter that down to people that really loved and enjoyed what you did. Okay, and you gonna repurpose the message, repurpose your brand to them, send them email and all this kind of stuff. To do that, it's super easy. You're gonna run a satisfaction survey. There's like templates on SurveyMonkeys, and you can find like templates everywhere on the web. And you're gonna get these people that gives you like 5-star, 4 stars, or even like 3 stars, you know. And you're gonna communicate with them, sending them an email and telling them about your brand and telling them what you're doing today. What is this different from before? What kind of product you are going to sell, where it is made, why you're making them in US now, or why are you still making them in China? Well, but what changed, you know, how you manage that, what's the difference, all this kind of stuff that probably where people stuck at a certain point, or why the customer service sucks before and now it's going to change, you know. People understand. You have to think that customers can be burned, yes, but everyone is human. And if you write things well, you can get back all your customers. It's a direct relationship, remember, that you're building with these people. The next thing is influencers. I mean, we talked a lot about that. Influencers, I think that's one of the most important things that you can get, and for super cheap. Can talk a lot about like some strategies and techniques to get influencers. and make them work in different ways for you. Again, try to think about local influencers, you know, and when we talk about influencers, we can talk about blogs, even, you know, people that have blogs, even like magazine, physical magazine that now are also online. They have a good reach. Think about everyone that can help you to spread out the word, you know. After that, you can get with partners, people like I was saying earlier, you know, people that are in the same niche but not doing the same thing than you. You can strengthen a partnership. Business network. So if there's any business network, local business network in your city or area, go there, you know, get your membership, a couple of hundreds of dollars, show that you're there, that you're doing something. You never know what kind of opportunity you can get from there. Sponsorship, also sponsor some events, even charity for very low cost. You don't need to spend a lot, but that will help you to be there and meet people. You know, this game is about meeting people. Most of it, you know, because building relationship with these people will bring you somewhere else, and they will open also their network, and this will bring you, you know, more and more. So that's super important. All these first thing, you know how much it cost? Freemium. We talked about that. Free. What was the word? $3,000. That's 3,000. Here we go. Trademark now. I'm gonna license it to you. Good. So $3,000. Here you go. And the rest now is something that is much more paid. You know, the old school guys that I know that have, I mean, been super successful building brands, put much of their money on PR, press, relation, and all this kind of stuff. I can tell you that still works a lot. And that, the problem with that is very hard to measure. And also the impact is not mostly instant. It lives through the time, okay? But that's a great way. A campaign, an average campaign for a PR relationship for your brand to get known is about $3,000 Canadian a year. I don't know, in the US should be like around the same kind of stuff. But today's agency, today's PR agency, they have much more reach than they had before. And the reason why is they master much more the social media and things like that. So you can get your stuff through multiples of press feed, news feed, influencers and things like that that will take back your brand and spread it out. Okay. And the other thing that is good with that is you can get also on a retainer at a certain point and get your stuff continuously promoted so people don't forget about what you're doing. Because that's one thing, I mean, most of the time we forget is we do one shot thing and then we stop. And after that, I mean, you will not see increase or people get known, people know about your brand, you know? So you need to be consistent. We talked about that. Consistency, it's everywhere and where you are in your business stage. And then after that, marketing campaigns. Everything that everyone probably knows here is to run marketing campaigns online, AdWords, Facebook, Snapchat, Pinterest, whatever. That's the last thing I would put. So if you are into a launch mode, even if you have like budget, you know, and a lot of money, I would still do exactly the same thing. I will still do exactly the same thing. Because the first thing are the pillars, you know, and most of the people that will be true fans of your brand will be the first one that you start with. And they will be probably the most loyal, and the people that will probably in 10 years from now, they will still follow you and they will be proud for you also, for your brand. Proud also that, hey, I've been the first there supporting this guy. And people love that. We talked, I think people like talked about it. Someone talked about it, I think, about trademarking your brand. But that's one thing we went through. 80 countries were trademarked now, right now, cost multiple thousands of dollars, super expensive. We did that because we want to protect our asset. Our name was easy to get copied. I would tell you the truth, a lot of people mixed our name with the Ghost Rider. So we wanted to make sure that even if Disney was going to go after Goth Rider, we were going to be protected. So they didn't went, their trademark lawyers didn't went after us when we were in the process. We were officially registered, which means we are not anymore in the trademark stage pending. It took us like 3 years to go to go there. So it was really early when I started the brand. Couple months after I launched, I decided to turn my business to a brand. I reached my trademark lawyer, and we went through the process very fast because I knew where we were getting. We are probably trademarked in over 350 categories. So from biker gloves to whatever, I mean, we think about doing, because at a certain point, we think we're going to expand the line. So yeah, you can see how much it can cost. The other thing also, we had like this long thought about at a certain point, this will create values, because yes, like a domain name, a trademark has some value. So it will increase the value of the business. And especially like for people that wanted to get into that business or love that name. So if anything happens at a certain point, I mean, I can still sell that trademark. Like I said, the cost, you need to talk to a lawyer, specialized lawyer. I know it depends a lot of stuff, but basically most of the numbers of categories that you're in. So it's a choice, but I think it's worth a lot if you think about the long-term game, and especially the brand game. Now, keep in mind, so this is almost the end. Oh yeah, that's almost the end. So keep in mind, you need to be sure to have something unique that is clearly defined, okay, when you're building a brand. And now what I'm talking is also in terms of value, but in terms also of about exit strategy. So if tomorrow you want to get investors, let's say, or you want to sell your brand, or you want to go to the stock market, or all this kind of stuff, okay? Having a business plan is super important. So get a business plan done. If you're not able to do it yourself, there are like people that you can sit down that are specialized that can help you to do it with you, okay? That's going to be super helpful, because there's always like two type of investors. I mean, even more, but there's like the traditional one, the banks one that would just want to borrow you money. And there's like the strategic one that wants to have like the full view, where they can inject good amount of funds and they can help you grow. And a good guy that will help you do a business plan must have some experience with those two type of investors, or people that can borrow you money or invest money, or depending on the structure of how it is. So you need to have someone that has a good track record of that, okay? That's very important. I would say that the cost around that, because I've costed around, and it can go between $15,000 to $30,000 for a good guy, okay? It's a good amount of money. But if you're going, for $1 million investment up to $10 million investment, I mean, that's worth, it's super cheap, when you think about the ratio. A business model that you can predict revenues, that's super, super key. I think someone talked about that at a certain point, but I think Chris talked about that in terms of when some people that are selling brands, what people are looking into. And I mean, they're looking about strategic partnership. They're looking about revenues. They're looking about volumes. They're looking profits. But like I said, sometimes profits is not important. They're looking about your database. They're looking about how you are in your niche. They're looking about the trending. They're looking about a bunch of stuff. So you need to be able to define that clearly. So when they look at it, they can say, okay, yeah, that makes sense, and it's a good business model. And if you've been looking, Shark Tank or any kind of stuff, I mean, I would say that most of the time they're very good question when they're getting like the people in front of them. I would suggest you that to take notes, you know, like our notes there. What are their questions? What was their answers? So like that, this can help you to prepare a good business plan. I mean, most of the questions that they're asking there are probably most of the questions that anybody, when you go there and present your plan, will be asking at a certain point. So you need to, take notes of that. That would be my best tip here. Another thing that is very, very, very important, because I went through that a lot of time, and you need to have a team with you, okay, with proven track record. If you're going to an investor and you're a one-man show, most of the time they would say, okay, you're one man. I mean, that doesn't make sense. I mean, oh, you can grow your business. I mean, you've done it like, congrats, you've done it like until that way at that point. But I mean, I don't see you where you're going to be able to position it yourself. So sometimes there's also stage of investment, you know, so you're getting a first stage, and that first stage most of the time will help you to grow your team also. And that will help you to get to the second stage where you can have like something, I would say, much more serious. Even if you're making a lot of money, some people, because you're just one-man show, will not take that seriously, and they will be afraid to invest money. Okay, so proven track record. Now, the other thing also, I mean, I want to tell you is you don't need that people full-time. You just need to show that you're not alone in your business. And last thing is the 30 seconds, you know, the elevator pitch. 30 seconds elevator pitch. Here you go. A story that can make a killing first impression. That's super key, because most of the investors, like super high-end investors, don't have time. They don't want to waste their time, and they know exactly what they're looking for, or what kind of entrepreneur they want to work with. And if they don't see there's a fit there, they will just, okay, I don't have time. I don't even want to bother more. I will go somewhere else, you know? And so that's very important, that if you have any kind of pitch or in place, or anything that you're looking, again, like to build a brand, and you want to get money and fund it and all this kind of thing, make sure you prepare that, master it, like clearly master it, like you know what you're going to tell, say, and you're gonna probably mixed up, or you're gonna probably fucked up or anything the first time, but that doesn't matter. You know, I think Jeff Bezos, it took like 50 people to find his first investor, like something like that, you know? So he went through knocking people's door, and he asked, you know, and a lot of people just didn't want, you know, anything, you know? And now, you know, probably they regret a lot. So, and probably his pitch was not perfect the first time as well. You know, probably he fucked up himself, you know, doing his pitch, and he was not very prepared. And at the end, he got prepared, and he got his first 2, 3, 4 people, you know, that got invested in him. So that's really how it is. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to take like Q&A here if you want. And here we go. Yes.
I've always been interested in the branding and marketing of a company, and it's sort of international, and they're sort of now like creating, I think, as many add-on products that aren't their main product. And I'm sure you know Harley Davidson. Can you talk a little bit about that and what they've done? Do you know?
I mean, Harley Davidson, I have a good story. Basically, first of all, Harley Davidson is a struggling company. You know, it's not as good as it used to be. It was even worse in the 80s, before like a new president came up and changed a bit their way. The problem that we're seeing today is basically lots of their consumer are 55 years old and more. Sadly, it's a dying industry. We're all going to go through there, but you're still young. You're still young. But and they are struggling getting like this new crowd of 25, 35 people, and there's a lot of reason that there. I mean, we can see like some growth in certain countries that they are able. In global United States, they they came through everything that they could do right now. So their growth is a lot outside. We've seen that recently, especially with what's going on with European agreement and all this kind of stuff. They're bringing their stuff in Europe now to make the motorcycle there. And there's also a reason is because motorcycle, like especially in France, like the Harley style, it's growing. It's growing like crazy. United States, they went through a certain point and also certain age, and people they're not making the same kind of money. There's a lot, there's a lot of things now. Where they have a good growth is the apparel business. Now you can see that there's a lot of stores in airports and everywhere where they're selling shirts, hats, and all this kind of stuff. This is a growing, and this is managed by one of the little, I think, daughter of one of the founders, or not the original founders, but the family founding company. And this has been their growing branch right now because people loves that brand, whether they have a motorcycle or not, they still associate. And there's a lot of young now that loves that. So there's a good thing there, but the overall motorcycle business, like it used to be, it needs to be revamped. And now what we're seeing is more, let's say, like Triumph. Triumph is much more trendy. They went after the hipsters. So they're getting like much more sales in the branch of, let's say, 25, 35 years old than, let's say, Harley Davidson that they're going into. Harley Davidson went through a whole revamp of motorcycle the past year, and they're trying much more to get aggressive on that. The other thing also that is playing against is we've seen like increasing fees of license plate. That's a problem. How are you going to get a 25 years old paying, I don't know, like $3,000 for a license plate for the year? Doesn't make sense at all. I mean, the motorcycle cost, a brand new motorcycle would cost $20,000. Yeah, in Canada, it's super expensive. Yeah, I know, like it's super cheap in California and some states in the United States, but in Canada, it's just like insane, and up to a certain point in Quebec, when you were passing your motorcycle driving license, you had to go, I think, through a full year with someone else, driving. Yeah, you need you couldn't drive yourself. So, that, slowed down a lot. Especially here in Canada, slowed down the sales of motorcycle. But and it's always, and that kind of stuff, sadly, it's always because of the small people that are crazy and don't do, the right thing, and also, you have two type of motorcycles, the one that are, made for speed, and the one that are just touring, and they put everyone in the same basket, and everyone pays at the end for that. Anyway, that's no problem. Another question.
What's your 30-second elevator pitch?
Oh my God. Thank you. I'm not prepared at all. But what I can say is, like I said earlier, we are basically an iron brand based for badass people and that like to live on the edge, and the way we work is very simple, is everything is made here locally in Canada and crafted by artisan, and we are super proud about that because we want to encourage basically local labor, and this business, needs that kind of stuff, But like I said, I'm not prepared right now, and I'm not at that stage right now. That's the thing, I'm not at the stage of getting funding right now. I'm the stage of rebuilding the brand, and I'm in the early place, like I've said here, close friends, surrounding, existing customer database, testing more stuff, especially in our process. We lack right now in certain point of our process of making the rings. So scaling could be an issue right now. If I go to an investor, I'm not able to scale, I will be in deep shit. I don't want that to happen, So, but I'm going to be prepared when it's going to be the time to knock on the doors and meet people. That's for sure. Thank you for the questions. You're putting some stress on me. Here you go. Other question? Yes? Yeah, there's no problem there. You can have like two business. You can have a business that holds a trademark, and you can have operating business also, and you can make link or license also. There's so many strategies that you can run around that, or sell in bundle or whatever, Other questions? No. So we'll have more questions tomorrow about Facebook ads, I think. Cool, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Oh, fuck. What's that? Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it did, yeah. Yeah, that's great. You might have to save it as an MP4 to be able to send it to me.
Okay, yeah. I'm gonna see if I can. First of all, I'm gonna save it here just to make sure.
Okay, guys, we're going to break for lunch now as well. So, what's the time?
It's 12:30.
12:30, yeah. So, 1:45, 2 o'clock. We'll come back.
How long are we gonna go from there? We're gonna go to 5 or 6 or what?
Tonight. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'll speak to Ken. After lunch, he's going to be doing a step-by-step process for Kickstarter and getting the influencers and stuff. So, yeah. So we'll say 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, yeah. Oh, you are, yeah.
Hey, if anybody wants to do a video review, we're going to be doing those during this lunch hour. So just meet me in the back. And then the discount code for the blanket is Vancouver. It's $100 off the retail price. And you'll get that. We'll keep that up for the next week for everybody to use that. So Vancouver is the discount code. If you go to trueblanket.com, Vancouver will get you the deal. And then anybody who wants to do the reviews, come meet us in the back. We're going to do some now and then just kind of do them on the different breaks we've got tonight.
You got a camera to shoot?
Just an iPhone.
Yes, iPhone's be good, yeah.
Can I use one of your tripods?
Yeah, sure.
Do you have
Yeah.
a little thing to do?
Yeah, I think have you got a thing that will hold it? Because I think Rob Fighter broke it when it stopped recording in a panic.
I had one, and mine I left at home because I didn't think I'd need it.
You don't think you need it?
I didn't think I would need it.
Oh, right, yeah, right, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
have it with me.
Where's Rob Fighter?
Okay.
But you're welcome to borrow them anyway.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.